that is. I picked up his name is Larry, and he was part of the other squad, the New Blood squad's train adventure, and he is the conductor of the shit show train that they're on. So that's him at the controls of the train, driving me to the places I need to go in the Feywild. He's a very nice man, Roper thing.
All right, time to learn how to use Procreate.
Procreate, as if I use something that fancy. I use fucking Pixlr. Bitch.
Oh, Procreate. Okay.
Uh-huh.
That Joe was about to get busy in here.
I mean,
I did think you were gonna fuck the tentacle monster. I'm not gonna lie.
The New Blood squad sure as shit tried to.
I'll put it on my to-do list.
They did.
Actually, Joe, can you tell me why Titty Slapper Turbo's been playing for one day?
What?
Don't tell him anything.
Tell him nothing. Tell him nothing.
It's probably better without context.
Tell him nothing. Take from him everything.
Where's my backpack?
Everything's better without context. That's it.
Honestly, that is 100% true. Literally everything is better without context. I almost opened Baldur's Gate 3 instead of Fantasy Grounds.
Are you streaming, Christine, or are you just...
I'm streaming.
No, she's streaming on the...
Okay, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Lighted with.
I popped it in Tug Hell for Rana and crew.
Oh, good. Rana has been watching TV.
Okay, so Jared, I have updated only your 6th level talents, which that doesn't matter because you're not level 14 yet. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm looking at the
matters in
updates
his
that
heart.
have hit Fantasy Grounds. Gotta make sure I have my head wrapped around it all before we get into a combat, but we can walk and talk.
Moral of the story: Nomad for skirmishing, Titan for bruisery, Weaver for pure damage.
Yeah.
You can stance.
Hell yeah.
In fact, you are incentivized, highly incentivized. God, the reverb.
The reverb is strong. I feel like if you put echo on anything, it immediately becomes funnier. Confirm, deny.
Deny. Fucking deny. I've been in a band with too many
Devin,
reverb
let's
pedals.
try it. Put your...
We've got the place surrounded.
I swear. Can you give me a copy that?
If you deep fry
Copy that.
reverb,
I couldn't fucking hear it, so.
Copy that. Copy that.
Okay.
I need to turn Devin up.
No, this just makes it more requirement.
Yeah, but I'm going to turn you to 200. That way, when you go back to normal...
That's better. And by better, I mean worse in every single way.
Come out of the catacombs. We hate being down here.
And by surrounded, I mean...
Not really. So.
We're not even outside.
I don't even like the French.
I don't think anyone likes the
Uncalled for.
sorry. Wow, I'm really
Fortunato.
shitting on the French today. Why am I just shitting on the French today? The French have literally done nothing wrong. Well, actually,
You're the one that put the bathroom in the fucking catacombs. You're literally shitting on the
it's
French.
not the bathroom. It's the fucking hallway. Holy shit! I'm being brief.
Oh boy.
This
Okay.
American grief.
Oh, well,
Oh!
There
There's
you
a
go.
question mark.
there it goes.
Chase.
It loaded for me.
Oh, it's okay.
Just give it a second.
Let me out. Hold on.
So, who can tell us what happened last time on Dragon Ball Z?
We got our butts kicked.
You did not.
We
fucking
won. We fucking won.
Yeah,
Well, I expect you guys to
I like to
retreat.
think percentage-wise, more of us survived.
That is true.
A step above Pyrrhic victory, so a victory.
I need you to stop with the deep fried, dude. It's actually fucking me up now.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've always sounded like this. You know this.
I've never
The
heard such
Digby
lies
chicken
and slander.
Caesar.
Um,
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
so we won. We won, but the main enemy combatant thingy, which was the corrupted dryad thingy,
She got away.
definitely hoofed it. Yeah, she definitely hoofed it the fuck out of there.
That's why it's so chaotic. I got 2 fucking music streams.
And then, did we do anything after that other than just?
The people were sick.
No,
We
no,
figured out
no.
how to fix the
Yeah.
people that were sick.
Oh yeah,
Burn
we
the
had
bodies.
the Greater Resto train.
Yeah,
Attempt to
you
fix
healed
everything.
as many people as you could,
Yep.
which was more or less all of them. There were a couple of the mage squads who are still not having a great time, but they're okay for now. So the wall that you held was utterly destroyed.
But
There's
it's a
like
fucking
maybe
quick grow wall.
yeah,
Nice
the
one.
plant wall. So the wall was completely destroyed by the artillery fire. But after you guys had taken shelter behind it and it had done its job of protecting your asses for an entire fight, you and Hermessa did a little bit of research, or you and the Drow, Kitchlorn and the Drow mostly, did some research on the fallen bodies of the Fomorian foes that you were dealing with, and you. Devin, do you have the notes of what you discovered?
Acid works really good. The big boys were an amalgamation of smaller entities that had morphed into one thing. The dryad was causing them to bloom, which made them more corrosive, I believe. Something. But acid worked across the board. So everything was some variety of fungus. The tunnels beneath were giant, nasty tunnels of fungus and spores, but they're not activated until there's actually magic, and they don't survive too long when they're dry.
All right. So you guys and Hermescent were headed back to the Arbor Exemplar for at least the first bit, so that you could kind of recollect and see what the hell happens next. Do any of you have anything that you want to do on the way or before you guys head out? Because you guys are kind of at the back of that little base camp of Meyerworth Fort that you'd used. And you had the Drow, the chef, whose name I'm blanking on right now.
Chef Perlone.
I'll end in the Drow.
Hoover.
Orderic Goderzesh. Orderic, you had him boil a bunch of water from the nearby river so that you guys could have clean water, because one of the hard things that you dealt with of this disease are that people seem to become incredibly thirsty. You have to
We
double.
cleared all but 2, I believe.
There are
That was just 'cause
2
we
squads. There are 2 mages, individual mages of the 8 survivors who are still consuming a bunch of water, but otherwise they're fine. Okay, is there anything else you guys want to do on the way back?
Not that I can think of at the top of mind.
I'm
Same here.
burnt. I have to. I can't do much right now.
Okay. All right. Well,
If
then.
there was something, I can't remember it. Like it's gone.
Yeah, it's okay. Do you have Fantasy Grounds active, Nikki?
Do I have what active?
Fantasy Grounds up?
Yes, but it is.
Okay.
I'm not at my fantasy grounds because it's downstairs. I am making tea to
Got it. I
survive.
will roll the
this
survival
session.
check for you.
Thank you.
So you get a survival check with advantage for being in the Feywild.
I do in fact do that.
And
And
Joe,
then
go ahead and
Christina
make a
rolls.
perception check. for me.
Yeah,
Sure thing.
we've done this dance before, Christina.
This
Is
is
it
a pretty
usually
easy
you?
one. Melifia rolled a total of 15.
15 here.
Okay, yeah. So with Hermescent and Melifia, I didn't mean to double click that first. With Hermescent and Melifia both guiding the group backwards, although back to the Arbor Exemplar. Although the Hermescent is not a guardian, that's not her primary purpose. She's just very perceptive. You guys make it actually back to the Arbor Exemplar through the kind of sparse forest, but Melifia and Hermesta especially using that forest to accelerate your travel. You make it back within about 2 hours. Not that time appears to change any. The sun is fixed at a point in the sky that makes it kind of perpetual, like 3 p.m. where you guys are. But you see ahead of you the towering Arbor Exemplar show up within not very long. As soon as you're within the circle of the Summer Court. You were greeted outside the Arbor Exemplar, the kind of lower boughs, by Frederick, the snail knight. Or the flower. He's the flower-looking guy.
Yes, he's the orchid-looking one.
Yeah, let's see. Frederick.
Fuck. This doesn't have half the goddamn spells that I need. Okay. Alright, I'll do it later.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and Real, this is the first time you've seen him. You see this beautifully adorned, like 5.5 foot tall armored knight, with like a kind of plant themed longsword instead of the one you see in the picture. And you see, for possibly you would have seen it in some brief scouting expeditions with the Flakkari before. But you see the colossal, sky towering, gigantic tree that is the Arbor Exemplar. From anywhere within these kind of plains on the Feywilds, the Willow Curl grasslands, you can see the Arbor Exemplar. It is a fixture of the plain. It is colossal in size and scope and everything about it. You have, of course, you've been cautioned to avoid any of the Fey courts for good reason. But this is the home, you know this to be the home of the summer.
I like this aesthetic.
So Frederick greets you, and let's see, what else I do? Here's a picture of kind of the theme of the Arbor Exemplar.
Okay. I'm a fan of the color scheme.
Yeah.
Just the dopest possible tree.
Both,
It is, in fact, the
fucking cool tree.
dopest tree.
both
yeah.
in character and out of character. I can dig it. I'm a fan.
Just a tree with extra steps.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but it's really swish extra steps, though.
The knight, Frederick, does greet you with a deep bow to Hermescent, and then a shorter bow, almost just the nod of a head to Melifia. But he greets you back and welcome back home. I trust your defense was successful.
Success is a strong word.
And then I'm sure Lady Titania will be eager to hear of your exploits. Come, there should be a council assembling present. And he just waves his hand and opens a portal through the back of a tree. Just a moment.
Before he finishes, or before he walks away, I walk up and say, I would be remiss not to mention that 2 of our group are infected by the spores. We have a method to heal them. We merely need rest before we can apply it.
Now, Devin, Chase isn't here, I don't think, right now, so you might want to try that again in about like
I am
5
listening now
seconds.
again, sorry.
Okay, want to repeat, Devin?
2 of our kind are infected with spores. There were many more. We have healed them, but we require rest before we can apply it. It would simply be for your court's knowledge, knowing that is entering.
You're saying that too, Frederick?
Yes.
He, of course, we will have them attended to by a healer immediately. Which too? And the drow, who are mostly kind of like staring up in awe and slight confusion at this entire circumstance, are whisked away by two kind of the same theme as the assassin, the Fey assassin looking dudes.
Yeah. As he's leading them away, I just
that
want to.
color palette.
Oh yeah. As he's leading the way, I'd say, as they're being healed, I would imagine that an inspection to the roots of your enemy might be useful. Do not hurt them.
Agreed. They will be taken care of. They're under the protection of Melifia. And two of the Drow warriors go with them just to provide some company. Okay. They're whisked away through a different break in the tree, and Froderick escorts you guys up to the council chamber. You enter the kind of half dome, or the kind of I guess it's a full dome. The dome of flower petals and interlaced vines and twisting branches and twisting underbrush components that all make this dome, and you seamlessly pass through it. And once you're inside, it's bright like the sunshine. It's colorful and vibrant in all of the colors of the Feywild, and at the center of it sits a surprisingly withered Titania. Her normal kind of floral arrangement is while still the right colors, is kind of just droopy and sad. And her normal, she appears visibly tired. And as you come in, she kind of looks up, and seeing the hesitation on your faces, seeing the look on a number of your faces, especially Hermes and Malafia, as they approach her, she kind of rouses herself and looks over towards her servant, or her best man here, Samath, and, excuse me, Samath, would you mind? And he kind of snaps up attention from his crystal ball that he was scrying into last time. And of course, my lady, I apologize for my indiligence, miss, whatever. I apologize for my laptop. And he just waves his hand, and her form just brightens right up. As you can see, the abilities of some illusory magic taking over her appearance. And he goes right back to scrying on the wall.
You need not spruce yourself up. I prefer you in a truer form.
Young Drake, you know this is more true.
I know that true and the Fae go together much like cats and water.
I know a lot of these cats. Are they like our Keepine?
A bit. Easier to keep as pets, worse to keep around.
She kind of contentedly sits back into her flower chair, and Froderick, next to you, we are still awaiting the arrival of Jokaz, the Ranger General. He should be along shortly. Please make yourselves comfortable. And he gestures towards a tray of levitating food that appears to have been provided that looks surprisingly normal. It looks like meat, which is strange.
I know that the people who definitely want to potentially leave the Feywild that are not me shouldn't eat any food from the Feywild. Do I know if this also counts as food that they definitely shouldn't eat?
As Froderick kind of bows to it, bows to you at letting the group go, and the drow kind of hungrily step forward. As you caution them with this, he goes, "No, this has been specially procured from the Prime Minister. It is safe for our guests to eat."
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna walk up first and take a bite, just in case. A little poison test.
Mm-hmm. Make a
Constitution saving throw, you fucking idiot.
Make a fucking
You absolute buffoon.
Make an investigation check.
Oh boy.
Get absolutely fucked, idiot! Like.
Ha! Got him!
She's been doing the long con for years. Shmellafi is an assassin. Sent
1,000 years into that.
No, I'm bumping a point. Bumping a point for 4. Better believe it.
Dude, it is definitely poison. It is definitely like toxic. And you begin like gagging on it for a second before you realize you just like swallowed it sideways. You're like, oh no, it's fine. It appears it's like a nice charcuterie board, like meats and cheeses and stuff that normal people would eat from the raw material plane.
Ah, yes, Lunchables.
Yeah, it's adult Lunchables. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I finished coughing. I'm just. Oh.
Someone wants to fight.
So when you procured it, did you not get the whole how to maintain it? Because this has been out for quite a while.
I was assured it was only the freshest ingredients.
How many days?
Yes. In the prime material planes, just one. Perhaps the time difference made a change. Oh well, if it is not to your liking, I can provide food of the Feywild.
I
No,
am
no,
perfectly
no.
fine. And I
Like,
turn it undercommon and say, it is probably better than what you've eaten recently. No offense. And I gesture to the
Yeah, Orderic. He kind of he steps forward and takes some too. Yeah, the rest of the drow eat hungrily of this ever refilling plate of charcuterie, and they seem to be enjoying it. They're like, yeah, this is better than dried rations by a lot, and this is better than that stew because I'm sick of fucking stew.
Okay.
It's all we've eaten for 3 fucking years.
I'll pass, savages.
Okay. Okay, so you guys await for, I'll say, half an hour before the vine wall kind of opens, and carried in on a stretcher of leaves and vines is the Ranger General Jokaz. You can see he's awake, but he appears to have a broken leg, and one of his horns is completely sheared off, like right at the base. And as he is carried into the room, he thanks the 2 kind of insecty servants that carried him in, and he kind of rolls off the edge and kind of hobbles over to his chair on one leg. And at his entrance, Samath and the others are visibly, like Hermescent especially, is visibly concerned. Like, "Oh, are you all right?" Yeah, it's nothing. It's real.
I'm gonna use my last first level because we still haven't fucking rested to do a detect magic.
Okay.
Yeah. Just a quick double check.
So on him, you do not detect the magic that you're familiar with searching for the infection. The wound on his leg that appears to have broken it is a fairly clean one, and the horn was a clean cut. And he does not appear to have suffered any other serious injury. You see his quiver has like 2 arrows left in it, and his bow, the string is like frayed and torn, and covered in a little bit of ichor. Let me change the music, actually. I really only have like 3 playlists that work.
I'll curate you some more.
Well, no, I just need to actually fucking do it.
Okay.
That's better. Okay, so Hermescent, as the court kind of assembles, a number of smaller Fae kind of fill into the rafters, not the rafters, the higher decks of seating in this kind of amphitheater-looking courtroom. And more so than you saw the first time you were here. It appears that a gathering has been called. And Titania addresses the group. Denizens of the Feywild. I'm sure you are aware of the threat creeping at our borders. Creeping at the edges of the lands of the summer.
Minorities.
We are doing all we can to stem this tide, to slow this creep. But as you can see, our forces are not holding up. I caution you to take whatever protections you can. I need a report from my 2 leading defenders. Hermescent. The Autumn Night. What is your report? And she steps up and kind of tree strides forward through her seat out into the courtroom floor, assembling in this twist of purplish orange leaves and her long spear. There you go. Pinkish orange, I mean. She speaks up in a loud and clear voice, and you've never seen her take her helmet off. At this point, given Melifia's anatomy, you figure it's just part of her body.
Yeah,
And you see,
just her head.
yeah, it is just her head. And you hear her speaking out clearly, though you cannot see her mouth, that we held the fort called Meyerworth that we created, that our queen created, and she curtsies to the not curtsy, just a light bow to the queen. At the cost of many animates, but we held our ground. My queen, the encroachment did not pass the wall. It destroyed the wall in the process, and I may request in the future we rebuild the wall with some changes. But these adventurers, Malefia's charges, and these drow, the Flakari, I've been told their name is, were instrumental in orchestrating its defense. I am confident that our lines, my lines, would have fully collapsed, under possibly even the initial bombardment, had these adventurers not been. I report not a great success, but an acceptable one. And she kind of stands at attention, and the queen, yes, that seems appropriate. I'm pleased to see your success. Adventurers, Ketchalorn. Drake, sorry. Have you something to add?
I stand and step forward and say, our victory in the Marshall Front was a hair above Pyrrhic, but we have gained information that could come in handy in the future. We know how they move around, and we know how they have eyes where they should not.
I would be curious to hear both of those tidbits.
Perhaps it might be saved for not in front of your courts. It is not comforting news. Curable, but uncomfortable.
I think it is news that must be heard nonetheless.
As you wish. They have a dryad corrupted by their corrosive touch.
Then you hear a ripple of gasps go throughout the upper decks.
It hides in the trees, it waits, it does not move on its own, but it serves as a spotter, as the eyes for these artillery. It orchestrates the movements of giants.
You mentioned the artillery, a term I'm sure is familiar in your world.
A giant insect, inside of which is a factory for spores and more of those raptor-like creatures. It fires them into the air, a solid 300 feet away, with pinpoint accuracy, destroying the walls or infecting and killing the defenders, depending on what it loads into fire. Without the eyes of the Dryad, it cannot possibly be accurate. But we lost many in that first wave of fire. And the giants are anywhere from 20 to 50 feet tall. There was one taller than the wall you created, and each strike made the wall tremble and crumble.
Our foe has adapted. The first wave of attacks, as Hermescent and Zokas can confirm, were only their infantry and meager flyers.
If I might make a comparison, do you have mushrooms of some variety here? Fungus.
Of all varieties, yes. That is mostly Nyx's domain. She keeps quite the garden of them, actually.
Well, it might be tied to said news of Nyx going silent, but they move as a fungus moves. Their roots, their cilium moves ahead of their force, and they can travel through the ground in giant gaping tunnels of spores and rot, through which these giants appeared not 50 feet from the wall. I would recommend something that can detect these as they pass beneath and hinder them. The spores themselves are not resilient to fire, although they seem to sustain themselves fine in an acidic solution. The Dryad itself cannot focus if it is hurt, so you need something to detect it. It is very hard to spot when it seeks to hide.
Okay, I will see what I can do to equip some sort of detection to my... Unfortunately, my power of creation is much more suited to creating many things rather than specialized things.
If you could make them out of something resistant to the growth of mushrooms, I find that it might be more effective in the field.
If I've learned anything from my sister, it's that mold will grow anywhere.
Then have you taken thoughts to my inclusion of fire? Worked quite well on the giants.
I have, and while I would normally be opposed to it, I think desperate times call for desperate measures.
I have taught Hermescent how to produce a pitch that burns easily and can be used to fill traps and pitfalls, as well as arrows that will carry the fire clean into the heart of what you shoot.
Pitch I can create. Pitches I can make pitch of trees that will burn. We have no way of igniting it regularly. The Sun Prince could be of aid in that regard, but he is... Well, he's a subject for later.
A traditional method would simply be throw your arrows with a small abscess to be filled with pitch and light it manually before firing.
I need you to make a history check. Melifia, you can make one as well.
Okay.
And Real, you can make one as well, actually.
Okay.
Real.
Very good at history checks, but here we go. History. Oh, it's a +1. How exciting.
Get that nat 20.
Get that 13. 13! 14!
Hey.
14.
So all of you kind of collectively remember like the same tidbit of information. It's crazy. There are a group of fairies, fae, lesser fae, in the Feywild called Redcaps. And
that's
they have
right.
They have a bunch of other cousins that are small fae that use fire. They are considered part of the Winter Court. Real, you would have run into them, possibly on patrol. Kitchalorn, the last time you were here in Malthea, you just know them.
Bob,
you ran into a squad of them, a group of them on your way to visit the Drow. And they had tried to set a trap for you, and you guys scared them off and did some stuff. But they have the capacity to produce fire. So if one of you reminds Titania of that, then she could try and do something like that.
Would you like to remind them, or should we all three simultaneously call out Redcap together?
Actually, all three of you actually.
Verbatim say the same sentence like we're part of a hive mind.
Yeah.
We just all turn to Titania like Redcaps.
Redcaps, but I say that with a wink.
The short devils that hide in the brush and attack innocents on their journeys seem to have some level of affinity with fire.
The Redcaps of the North, I suppose. The North. C-word. I suppose do have an affinity for fire. They've been dangerous to my grasslands for some time. They dare not cross into our lands. Perhaps I shall seek help from King Didal. Direct help from one of his clans.
Mentioned that something was happening in the Sun Court? Court of the Sun? Sun Court.
The Solar Court, yeah.
The Solar Court.
Yes, but first, I believe we have another debrief. Jokaz, obviously you personally...
I was invaded by my sister. I'll be back.
No problem. Jokaz, you seem to be worse for the wear. What is your report? And he kind of painedly sits up. And you can see one of the other court attendants is working on like casting some healing magic on him. He kind of like shoos them away for a second while he sits upright. As you had feared, my lady, my wall has collapsed. I was pushed back, but obviously survived. Intervention from the Archfey Blaze Redfeather saved my life, but scorched a large part of the lands in the Whispergrasp. The Whispergrasp Rampart. The wave of these monsters was stalled by Blaze, but he will be out of commission for a while, I think. As capricious as ever, he retreated to seaward of the Solar Throne, as far as my scouts could track it, but not after doing a significant amount of damage. I also spotted a commander similar to yours, but not in body, not in form. A great winged beast flew over the scorched plains where the forest used to lie, Blaze. And as it flew over, it empowered those Fomorian monsters beneath it to a friend. It was that final push that destroyed our wall and most of my animals. I barely made it out myself, with the help of an outsider, actually. One who I had not seen before. And he looks over to Despero, and he looked like you. He had more furs and less weapons, but looked with the tattoos, or with the markings.
Despero, up to this point, had been kind of just vacantly staring at the floor and passively listening as best he could. But at this, his eyes snap to the person who was just speaking and said, "When did you see this person?"
Oh, not but a cycle ago. He actually saved my life and cut off my horn.
And you said he had tattoos very much like mine.
Very much. They were all over his torso and his arms. And he wielded a great axe. I only saw him for but a moment, as he destroyed the creature holding my horn.
There is a possibility that this may be one in the number of my people, but to know that one is in the Feywild is surprising. And he looks to kind of the rest of the group.
And concerning. I did not see a guardian nor detect their presence with me.
Do you know how I might go about the process of finding this individual?
You would never. Melifia, your guardian, might be able. You seem to have proficient tracking capabilities. You may pick up his trail just seaward of my encampment at Whispergrasp.
Melifia, if one of my people is currently engaged in combat with the creatures spawned by this blight, it may be that he, like us, has learned some or more about their nature and how to best fight back against them. If we can afford the detour, it may be worth our while to pursue this person, whom I think may very well be one of the Voyin.
We'll nod and think about it for a little while, because we may or may not have the time, but
Tonight speaks up. While I regret the fall of the Whispergrasp, I think it served its purpose, and you as well, Jokaz. You have done a great deed for the Arborg's Empire, and I am glad to see you survive. He bows as deeply as he can while still sitting. Thank you, lady.
I step forward and just Before we change subjects, the giant winged beast you saw, what can you say to describe it?
I only saw it from a great distance, luckily, but it unleashed a torrent of some purplish black attack from its, I suppose, head. It had 4 wings, a long tail, with which it carved the treetops beneath it. I could not say much more than that, but it was very fast.
Do I have any knowledge whatsoever what that might be?
Make an insight check.
Oh,
It was dummy thick.
It was kind of hot. Not gonna lie. No,
Not
man,
gonna lie. I carved a
That's a
picture in the
funny
wall
picture
and
with 4
masturbate
wings.
to it sometimes.
4 wings, nothing else. Goddamn.
4 wings and a very long tail, and it's fast as shit. Also very large, because he saw it from, like, very far away. I luckily did not have contact with it. It appeared to chase after Blaze.
Before or after the fire?
After. His presence was not known to me until a large column of flame erupted from the seaward side of the flame, incinerating what must have been hundreds of things.
So it is either intelligent or it is led by something. Both are not comforting.
On the subject of the Sun Prince, I did detect briefly the Sun Prince's pet, Onar. Very briefly, he was soaring over the lake next to the Solar Court and destroying flyers that got too close. So it does appear that the Sun Prince himself is at least aware of threat to his goal, if not actively participating. And Titania kind of, you can see her kind of lower her head and close her eyes. I do detect the Sun Prince's volatility, shall we say, but he does not appear to have chosen a course of action. I'm not surprised. It may be worthwhile to beseech his help as well. As capricious as he as well is, maybe we can catch him in the move.
Is he more or less open to options than the Winter Court?
More, just statistically speaking. Daedal has done much in his power to oppose me, as is his nature. That is why we were created, I suppose, to oppose each other forever. But
I'm going to avoid the larger philosophical conundrum of your creation and the intent of such creatures to create you in a state of perpetual war, and move forward to what is necessary for him to finally maneuver forward.
for the Sun Prince or for Daedal?
I will take a half-lame deer with a spear at this point.
A few chuckles come up from the rafters. The Sun Prince is, like I said, capricious as ever. He may commit his full might, such that it is, to defending our home. May leave. Not be the first time. He may simply not be there when you get there. He is impossible to deal with for anyone that does not have power over him, like courts do. On the same subject, actually, Nyx. I have heard her go silent.
Completely silent?
I have detected nothing from her for several cycles. While I'm not concerned for her well-being, she is as perpetual as the night. I am concerned for the well-being of And while she is patient, I am much less so. So one way or the other, I would like to send a force to investigate the Garden Throne and perhaps get some information from my wayward.
Get some information for your what? I didn't hear that.
From my wayward broodmate.
And no doubt her expertise on this new fungal aspect would be greatly appreciated.
Yes, her insight would be of much avail to us. Didal remains, of course, silent. Almost oddly so. Usually at this point he would be taunting, using his own tendrils to poke at our defenses while somebody else is. And you, who speaks for the Flaccati? And Councillor Leveros kind of looks around and kind of steps forward. I have guided the... I can't do girl voices today, apparently.
That's okay.
I have guided the Flaccati through as much as I can. We owe a debt of honor to the Feywild for harboring us during our hour of need, flight from our home. I'm sure we have not been unnoticed by your keen eyes, my queen, and she deeply bows. It is true, I have felt your presence since your arrival. The counselor. If the Flaccati have any hope of eventually finding our way home, I think we possibly need the power of the Archfey. We are not from here, we are not meant to be here, but I think being here has changed us. For the better. We've learned many new things. We've studied magic for these... Gosh, it's been nearly 300 years since we've been here. And we have made great headway. But the state of the world that we left of the Prime Material was a sorry one for Dark Elves. We fled the destruction of our people. I fear we have no home to return to. You of the Prime Material plane. Actually, can you corroborate this?
I have only been awake for a few weeks now, but I have heard nothing of the Drow. I have seen nothing of the Underdark. But it is not the first time they have made their home in the inhospitable. I'm sure they could do it again, given time and resource.
Of which we have neither.
If there's one thing I know of the Drow, it's that they always have time.
That's fair.
The resources come and go. The unfortunate news is that they would need some level of safe harbor. There are too many that fight for too few reasons.
Still, I feel this debt of honor. Maybe not to you, my queen, but to the Feywild as a whole. She kind of, if a flower could blush. My child, I am.
Real quick, I missed this, and that's my bad, but this person that we've been speaking with, is this Samath or someone else?
This is Titania.
This is Titania, okay, my bad.
Yeah, sorry, my voice is not fantastic this week.
It's
No, you're all
it's
good.
perfect, Chase. It's wonderful.
Thank you. Also, all the Fae people just have the same, like, haughty timbre in my head.
Understandable.
Yeah, it's fair. I mean, we are in their fucking court.
Yeah. The counselor kind of I do feel this debt of honor must be repaid, as is your tradition here. For what it's worth, I offer my people's aid. For an exchange. I need the power of the Archfey to give us a chance at...
Oh. Did we lose him? Give us a chance
did
to
I-
what?
You know what? I turned my fan down, so I'm gonna turn my notification a little.
Ah.
Okay, is that better?
Good night, you're pretty good.
Actually, yeah, just a moment. I'm gonna turn my fan all the way off and set up a different cooling method. So I'll be right back.
Take your time.
Oh, that was like perfect.
He's
time
never
to
coming
share.
back. No.
He's gone. He's gone forever, ladies and gentlemen.
Is it?
Say
All right,
goodbye to
everyone.
Chase.
D&D's over.
This
All
is
right,
what
say
10
goodbye to
minutes
Chase,
of Procreate looks
The
like.
childhood's end.
Nice.
Cut
Wait,
to
I need
chase
to see
and
this.
biggest-
10 minutes of Procreate.
You
Oh,
cry,
Jesus.
I wipe away all Chase's tears.
Got to him trying to stuff like an entire bag of fucking ice into his shirt. Like, alright, I found a method.
You're not gonna like it.
He cuts open his paw and lets a little blood out.
You cry, I wipe away all of your tears.
My back is so sore. I need to find a chair that doesn't make me wither like a fucking shrimp.
Are you still sitting in that wooden thing?
No. I'm not
Okay.
actively fucking killing myself anymore.
Okay.
Okay, I am back.
Welcome.
Welcome back.
We thought you were dead.
I was. That's
Oh,
true.
okay.
I was dead, and now I am back from the land of the living. It's
Oh, no.
miraculous.
It's a miracle.
What, Joe? What did you do to me?
I made you Zordon.
Oh, got it. Okay. All right. What was the last thing I said?
The deal between the drow and the...
Okay.
1 million XP to Griffin.
They have no home to return to.
They would offer their help in return.
In return for giving us a chance at finding our home again. Okay, so to wrap up, you guys have a couple of options. Go find Nyx. I can't send these like that. Go find the Voin. Go talk to the Solar Prince, the Sun Prince. Go talk to Didal. Oh, and then there's one other option. The counselor speaks up. We, in our time here, did study a fair amount of the goings on and the nature of the magic that we have harnessed in our time. So we could possibly offer some insight if we could get back to our supplies and research facility in the ruins of Osalin.
Oh, that was the ruins to the...
The ruins you
That was
found them in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are your 5 kind of tasks options. And
While everyone...
Titania speaks up. Hermescent, you must stay vigilant on the defense while Jokaz mends. So I will supply you with as much as I can conjure. Were the animates useful in your defense? And she kind of she's like, well, they fought valiantly. They were mostly destroyed during the incursion. Go ahead, Jared.
Oh, while everyone, I'm sure, invariably begins their process of deliberation, or like, all right, which path do we want to take? Despero is going to walk directly over to Samath and hopefully not get executed. I don't know if that's legal here. I don't know if I should be doing that, but it is what Despero's going to do.
You catch a couple of wayward of eyes tracking you as you walk across the room, but Samath looks to you and kind of, I've seen you before. Can I help you, small one? And you look, and he's like 15 feet tall.
Yeah, fucking huge, yeah. So I look up at Butterfly Dad, and Despero says to him, "You have about you the aspect of a seer," and he kind of gestures with his chin. I assume like slightly up to the fucking
to the orb. Yeah. Unperceptive one, aren't you?
Lord starts laughing his ass off in the background. He's choking on some food right now.
He's just got a bit of fucking prosciutto and charcuterie just like halfway in his gullet, chucking while he laughs.
Yeah.
As I'm talking, all respect, Butterfly. You might want to clean the crystal ball.
Despero looks a little flattered for a moment, or as flattered as he can really look while nobody's really home up there, and lies through his fucking teeth and says, "Yes, I am often congratulated upon my capacity."
Make a deception check.
Can I give him disadvantage?
No, he's got it plenty by himself. It's fine.
Yeah, God, don't kick him in while he's down. Fuck me. Hold on.
I just want to give the most skeptical.
I need him to fail miserably.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a 2, my dude. Samath looks at you and kind of. Well,
how
can I help you?
How much do you see through your aperture into the world?
I am the eyes of Titania, and sometimes the ears when I can spare them.
That's good.
I see far and wide across the Feywild, though I require knowledge, and for that I have traveled far and wide. Is there something that interests you?
Yes, I would like to set a question at your feet that occurred to me while we were engaged in the throes of battle against... And he searches for the right word to use for this for a moment, but he eventually decides on this blight.
Blight, that is appropriate. It creeps like necrosis across the flesh through our lands.
It occurred to me while we were fighting these creatures that I could not tell if they were responding to the beck and command of an intelligence or if they were a process, like a storm. We learned much in fighting them, but if we do not know that, we have no direction in our efforts to combat this.
So your question is, are they controlled by something, or are they simply feral?
Yes. It has been my experience that when killing something larger than me, it pays to know where it is most weak, where its heart is. But I should be concerned if there is no heart to strike at in this blight.
Well, necrosis has a point of infection, I suppose. I will keep my eyes, as long as I can spare them, on the lands that I know that I can see.
That would require me to talk a lot. You're adventuring in the Feywild right now.
The limits of my vision are set in stone, unfortunately. But what I can see, I will keep my eyes on. I will see if I can suss out a root of this infection, of this blight.
Despero nods his head in gratitude, kind of tersely, like a fucking warrior word, like what's understood, don't need to be said kind of thing, and walks back to the group.
I'm not going to torture myself.
As you walk away, those of you as Despero walks away, those of you kind of watching across the court, you see Samath kind of shift his wings, and the shape of his wings just changes to like a different butterflies, and the color patterns shift as he kind of looks, and he kind of just for a fraction of a second, you catch a scowl at Despero.
Overwatch.
Just for a fraction of a second before he's back to the kind of resting bitch face neutral.
What the fuck you scowling at me for?
Okay, at the risk of making it seem like a fucking food line, I actually did want to talk to him.
Go ahead.
I passed Esper on the way there. I am going to be honest. I believe I've forgotten your name, so I don't mean disrespect when I say butterfly.
Build out your dragon and your. Hey, I mean, did they nerf her?
Oh, you can hear me, can't you?
Yeah.
Moment, let me see if I can make it cardioid and point it at me. Let's see if we'll see if that helps.
Oh, that makes you sound better too. Holy shit.
Oh, good. Okay.
But I pull out some of the sample vials that we had and say, does your sight work similar to the scrying magic that I am familiar with? Would a material closer to the nature of what you're seeing come in handy?
It can hardly hurt.
I gesture very daintily to the spores and say, this can very much hurt.
I won't mess it up.
Too bad we didn't have a tank.
I hand him over the samples as I have no use for them anymore.
Sure.
I overheard you using necrosis. My fear is that either prior to or as a result of the silence of Nyx, looking at them more like a network of fungus would be more appropriate. Everything about them seems to tie back to that truth.
I appreciate your insight. I will consult my sources and see if I can find any meat to that matter.
And should we decide to go to Nyx's court, I say sort of loosely, I'm not a huge fan of Nyx. Would you be able to find us a path of less resistance?
I could find you a path, but the extent of my capabilities lies mostly in the immediacy of the information.
But information from a day ago is better than 2 months.
Fair. I will inform you when you set out to leave, should you choose that direction.
And of the others, I'm sorry, what is the decorum for speaking ill of another court?
Depends on which court.
The one that seems to be sitting on his hands and doing very little.
Didal.
No, I said no one comment.
The shade of it all. The shade of it all.
Just
immediately died all. That piece of shit died all.
As long as it's not to his face, I don't think he'll care.
Yes, I would not seek parley with someone so blind and fat on his own power to not see his impending doom. But the Sun Prince, is there a safe path between here and there, or does it cross over Fomorian-controlled lands?
To my knowledge, there is still a safe path, though with the fall of Jokaz's barricade, that path may be closing around us. I suggest you pass. Should you go there, you can cross near the theater. The Poplar Pearl Theater is near the theater. I would not suggest you pass through the theater, but you can probably cross the river there. You've shown adequate explorative traits with Melifia at your side. You could then pass the seaward side of the Solar Throne and probably safely make it to his throne.
I take out my notes. The Fae takes distance as a loose relative. How long would that take?
With Melifia at your side, I suppose it depends on her particular willpower, but no more than 3 cycles.
That should be an entire attack in between.
That is very much possible.
Unfortunately, we don't have much of a choice. You can't stem a bleed by just holding your hand over it. You eventually have to suture.
I could get us there to any of the courts or where we want to go with a long rest almost immediately. I just couldn't get us back in that time.
It seems that your guardian has learned a trick or two from her time here.
Thumbs up.
You must come back. You must come back and visit more often. We've noticed your absence.
I have a yep.
I think she's in tree trouble.
Yep.
He didn't say it with any malice, but he definitely said it. So.
Point is, I would not consider distance a hindrance anymore in the decision of who we would want to visit. I can.
Jokaz is like kind of sitting on this thing, and he's now allowing one of the healers to actually mend his leg.
Mm-hmm.
And they go for the horn, and he goes, "No, leave it. I'll grow another set next season."
Mess with the bull,
you can't lose.
It's a satyr, not a fucking minotaur.
So, is the implication there that you can, in fact, milk those?
I mean, goat milk is a thing, I guess.
Goat milk from a male goat is a very different thing, though.
Who says he's male?
Oh,
I'll just let that one marinate a second.
I was gonna say, I mean, let him take the L with the broken horn for a while.
I have a question. Do female goats grow horns as well?
I do not fucking know.
They get nubs.
Do now.
They get nubs. They get little nubs. They
get little nubbins?
Yeah, so their skull... My sister has two goats. Their skull is still hardened because they still butt heads as part of the social stuff.
Okay.
So
but they don't grow like the full ram horns, right? No. Okay.
As he speaks up to your conversation, Melfia now joining you, as the court has kind of devolved into small side conversations. Titania is in fact entertaining a number of the kind of nobles, if you will, of this court. Just a small cluster of them around her base. And Jokaz speaks up. Well, you may have a hard time getting to the Solar Court's entrance. Blaze did not earn his name lightly. He destroyed much of the forest on his way there and back.
We didn't have searches.
makes it harder for them to ambush us.
I suppose that is true. The waste that he leaves was very difficult for the creeping advance of the larger Fomorian beasts to cross. And while the Solar Prince grows stronger from that influence, it directly weakens our queen.
Did he burn Healthy Forest? I thought he was focusing on the Fomorians.
He burned.
Yeah, he was just like...
I would not even consider him an ally, historically.
Yes, the indiscriminate nature of his flames is a flaw that he needs to overcome in a hurry. However, he likely is the reason that side didn't completely falter.
Oh, well, 100% he is. His column of flame tore through a large amount of the beasts that were flanking my remaining forces.
Did you also have the artillery, the insects that launched things?
Yes, though it took me some time to spot them. We just had explosions of thorns and projectile shrapnel and poison gas and spores.
Yes, I am familiar. I would meet with Hermescent when you have time and compare notes, as it were.
Hermescent drifts her way over to you, actually, and begins doing just that.
It is a bit odd how you hear me no matter what.
I can't help it. I hear through a lot of the plants in this court.
Gossip must be so interesting.
It really isn't.
Dismissive fashion.
It really isn't. It's quite droll, actually.
It's a court. What do you expect?
I've never been one for politics. I was not made for such a task.
Yeah.
So they begin comparing notes, and the gist of it is, yeah, they both had basically the same forces. Different numbers and slightly different composition. You guys got the brunt of the flyers. The other side got the brunt of the raptors. And he mentions very specifically the archers. I believe my cohort termed them Incanti. I didn't catch the meaning of it, but it must have been in his language. The archers, the Incanti, were more numerous on my side than on yours, it seems, and they orchestrated much of the flanking maneuver. They are stealthy and they are cunning, but they don't take an arrow to the chest well.
Maybe like one technique or something, because like no one else can go.
I would mention that fire and acid seem to work just as well on them as it does on us.
I don't think I have much of either, but I can make do.
Well, with any luck, when we go to see
I saw that.
Prince, which is still an odd name, that he's a prince with no other hierarchy around him, we might get some fire.
Blaze's efforts seemed to bear fruit, so I assume that fire is the way to go for most of the bulk of their mass. And indeed, they threw enough mass at us that we crumbled under it. Either way, I appreciate your input, Drake.
I give him a nod and say, hopefully the next wave goes better. But when you get the chance, if you are as good a shot with that bow as I think, kill their spotter.
I will make an effort to do so. Yeah, you can see the arrows. So he's like 8 or 9 feet tall, with the horn remaining. But his arrows are like 4.5 feet long. Like these are big ass arrows. This is a great bow.
Oh, so you made Hawkeye go is what you made.
Yeah, these are great arrows. This is a great bow.
Well,
it's tall enough. It's tall enough that he can. That it's his bow is like almost the height of him, so he can like set it on something and draw. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Hawkeye go.
One may call him.
Probably. Yeah.
One may call him Goat Eye. Huh? Yes, that was what I was going to interrupt you with, Chase.
That's where you put in the pun, not Hawkeye goat.
No, Goat Eye.
Yeah, no, Devon's is way better.
Yep, I agree.
Wow.
Anyway, so you guys have about 5 options, and the queen, after the court kind of sorts itself out, now that we've all digested this information, so I have the capability left to summon one great beast should the Arbor Exemplar come under attack. They will cause great destruction, possibly indiscriminate destruction, but destruction nonetheless. So I believe our time, we have one trick left for if they knock on our borders. In the meantime, before they make their next serious push,
Yes.
we must anticipate their adaptation. I built fortifications along our walls. So they brought weapons of siege. Previously, my animates and incarnates were ground forces, so they swarmed us. They have crept across the volatile land of the Garden Throne, and, to my knowledge, destroyed the Craven that lived there. We must assemble what reinforcements and knowledge we can before my power to protect this place is expended. Like I said, I am the Feywild. And if the Arbor Exemplar falls, there will be no safe place for Fey either. You, adventurers, and Melifia, your party. I suppose you have strength that would be best applied in one of these multiple directions. We do not have time, I fear, to pursue all of them in order. I ask that you choose tasks that you can handle and get back within 7 cycles.
7 cycles is 7 days, right?
7 days, yeah.
I believe that the best path would be crushing what is Sunward. And I pull out the map that I have, presuming that the Feywild hasn't changed overnight as it is wont to do.
It probably has.
I reiterate in a louder voice, presuming it has not changed as it is wont to do. The infection Sunward is far less severe, but the eyes of the satyr spotted a great beast that would need to be felled on the way. If we can get the Solar Throne to respectfully get off their ass and do something and crush that front, then we would only have one war to fight.
Jokaz speaks up. While I respect that idea, the Solar Throne consists of maybe 5 Fey total. If you're counting on them for reinforcements, they will fall short.
I was counting on them for a strike force. Slay the beast, kill the heart of the infection.
What if we consider the magic that the Drow has to offer? The Drow have to offer.
Counselor Leverus steps up, and I do believe we could have an impact with our control over dunamantic magic. I think finding our research materials in Ozanolin would prove valuable to the defense effort here. We are no makers of war. We were, at best, in our old lives, survivalists. Some of us warriors, but those warriors are long past their prime, and Orderic kind of...
We have 7 days, right? Hold on, I'm just trying to math this out. I can tree stride once per day. So we could theoretically...
You can transport via plants. Different from tree stride.
Yeah, sorry. Transport via plants is the big one, right? Which means I can take a whole party with me instead of just me going myself. Which means I can travel to any set distance on this plane once per day.
You do have to know a tree there.
Oh, I'm a druid, don't I know every tree? I know every tree by name here, right? That's Joe over there. That's Sally, the palm tree.
You were about to start naming the party members.
That's
Joe over there. That's Ultra Lord. That's
no. Of the wind.
You know,
Joe,
you very specifically. Yeah. You took a look at some of the specific trees in the Garden Throne. You have been to the Solar Throne before. You have been to the Arbor Exemplar, and you've been to Osonalin before.
Yeah.
All other trees in the region, you probably haven't been to.
Now, there's also another favor that we could call in potentially to get to the Winter Court really fast, if that's what we want to do.
It's not. I don't want to do that.
Look, it's just an option. This river that runs from the east of the Summer Court all the way up to the Winter Court, that river has a spirit in it that owes me a favor.
Liquaxis, the water element.
Liquaxis, yes, owes us, well, me, a favor.
The same one could get us from, if we go to the Garden Throne, out of the Garden Throne via rivers.
As far as you know, the way he described it, his river is only the one right there.
Yeah.
His river is this section and this.
Fuck.
Although he is a water elemental, you presume. He also mentioned he had some neighbors who didn't like him very much.
Yeah.
Some neighboring elementals, but...
So we could technically go to Sonalim and then stop by the Winter Court to beat our head on a brick wall, and then go to the Solar Throne the next day.
Are you done, Devin?
No.
Devin, we're all drinking. Come play with
God, is
us.
that why it is?
We're all drinking, Devin.
We can tell, Tara.
They're all drinking, Devin.
I should be too. Excuse me.
Okay.
Jesus, I may have put a little much in there.
Twitter talk.
So,
It only helps if it doesn't make me cough.
Just put more points in con.
Tell me about it, dude. I'd put points in con any fucking day of the week. Fix my broken ass body.
Okay, so hear me out.
I have glass bones and paper skin. I'm listening.
Hear me out. We could, tree stride to, the one place I can't reach is the Winter Court, correct?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. We could tree stride to the Garden Throne, okay? Walk to Osonalin pretty quickly from the Garden Throne, right? Yeah, sorry, transport via plants, okay. We could get pretty quickly to Osonalin, then we could ask the Water Spirit to take us to the Water Court, and then, like, if we can take a rest, right, I can then transport us via plants to the Solar Throne. We could, theoretically, potentially hit multiple of these things.
Hold on, in response to the goat picture, what was it?
I say bullshit to that whole thing. Their horns are identical and they actually have horns.
If we can complete most of these objectives, that'd be
I'm sorry,
ideal.
but considering that I've milked a fucking goat and I'm like all up in their business, like that's not true about goats.
You tell him, Tara.
All right, let me.
We're gonna turn it up. We can't hear very well.
Okay, so apparently they started drinking downstairs. And
Yeah,
Oh, really?
You know,
When was that?
she was literally in the middle of chastising me, and then she saw Joe's picture of the goat. And she's like, "What the fuck is that?"
I knew it would come in handy.
So apparently, a cousin came to visit after a very long drive to come and visit and drink with us. So I may potentially have to bow out for the night. Would we be able to do something over the rest of the weekend?
I am super busy this weekend.
I am also super busy.
We can just keep going without you for a little while. I know how to play Kitchlorn.
Okay, got it.
Oh,
Before you go, though,
Lorne.
could I give you my plan so you can see if it's a good idea, Devin? Yeah.
Sure. Oh.
Come on.
Got you. Appreciate it. Apparently, Shania Twain has gone on the music list.
Okay. So I can transport via plants for us to the Garden Throne. Then we can hit Osonalin potentially afterwards, because it's pretty quick to get there. And then we can talk to Liquaxis, who is just actually under Osonalin. His river goes under the bridge there, right? And he can he could potentially help us get to the Winter Throne, right? Sorry, the Winter Court. And then from the Winter Court, we could find a tree there to then transport via plants to the Solar Throne, and we could potentially hit all of these things relatively quickly.
So my only concern with going Garden Throne first is that the Garden Throne is completely hostile turf.
It is.
We could literally jump out of the portal there and find Dick Destroyer 3000 standing over Nyx's body, saying, "Oh damn, some fresh ass."
I want to meet Dick Destroyer 3000.
I understand that.
See, my concern is your plan is we go to the Garden Throne, or like we look around, we do it's like, oh hey Nyx, how's it going? Oh, you got fucked up, damn, that's crazy. We do something to fix it. Then we talk to the spirit, go to the Winter Court. My concern is we go there, we're like, hey Nyx, how's it going? Oh Jesus, my flesh, it burns. Everything sucks. Everything's horrible.
Yeah, but you see, we won't know that until we get there. And I'd say
I would
Mickey,
say
may I direct you
instead
to your 5th level spells? I just go take a look.
Oh, wait, what?
Go look through your 5th level spells for me.
I have a lot of 5th level spells. You gotta be okay.
Because I was thinking, if anything, when we eventually do the 1 and 2, we go 2 first and then 1, because we know 2 at least isn't hyper hostile.
And
we.
Okay, my 5th level spells that I have currently on me is Mass Cure Wounds and Wrath of Nature. But you mean all of my 5th level?
I mean all of your 5th level spells because you need to rest to get transport via plants anyway.
Reincarnate, scrying. Hold on. Anti-life shell awaken.
Scrying would come in handy.
Scrying would come in handy. I could scry us there before we go teleport, if that is something you would like to do.
Yeah. Yes. So my path that I was thinking was, so he said for 5, he said that he was moving seaward, right?
The last that he saw of the Voine was actually down here, and he moved north, seaward.
So his trail is gonna go cold really fucking fast. So in effort, so dream. We're talking max optimism, right? We go to Garden Throne, and Nyx, it turns out she just had it on M for Mumble and not W for Wumbo. And we fix that, and she helps us deal. She starts working on the whole mushroom side of things, the fungus side of things. Then we go to 2, get the research materials. We go to 3, and it turns out that Didal just had his phone unplugged. He's like, "Oh shit, word."
Shit, word.
And then we take a rest at the Winter Court, and he's super nice and lets us stay there. And then we port Solar and cut our way back on foot, which should take less than 7 days.
Now the other thing is, if you want to track whoever the fuck, if I have some sort of way of like looking for him, okay, if Jared can help me, I could also scry on that person as well.
I really want to.
Yes, I'm trying to get that.
But don't you have to like know him in order to scry him?
Oh, no, that's not
Yeah, basic familiarity with the target gives you an advantage. Not knowing the target at all gives you significant disadvantage.
Disadvantage, yeah.
So yeah, as long as we scry and we're advanced notice as we get there, in list of importance to the war effort, I'd say from greatest to worst would be 1, 3, 4, 2, 5. 4 and 2 can be swapped out. Just 3 is such a wild card. It could be he's just sitting there saying, "I'm waiting for them to burn. I made the fungus. Let the summer court burn."
Yeah, that is 100%. I can already hear what Didal is going to say, because Didal's words are going to be, "Hey, Titania's going to burn. That doesn't sound like my fucking problem," and then be a dickhead about it.
So hardball play that will 100% either get us executed or at the very least make us run from the Winter Court is we go there diplomatically, but while we're at the Garden Throne, we get a big old hunk of spores and shit and just sort of and just drop it in his water and say, "Damn, that's crazy, isn't it? Like, that's wild, isn't it? That's fucking crazy."
What was an us problem is now a you problem.
I mean,
you could either help us or die screaming alongside us.
I think that should be our approach anyway. Not necessarily drop the spores directly in his fucking drinking water, because I've done that before, and apparently that doesn't help.
I'm saying literally bring it. Go to 1, pick up shit, do 2, do 1, pick up shit, and then on the way to 3, just fucking spread that shit in the water, and just go to him.
Okay, but why you gonna fuck
super
with
hardball?
But why are you gonna fuck over Laquaxis like that? Laquaxis don't deserve that shit.
Yeah, well, Laquaxis needs to help, so he needs to put in some real fucking work to get the Winter Court to do something.
Doesn't have legs.
Yeah, well, guess what? Evolution's a real son of a bitch, and he needs to get that ball rolling.
Fucking Laquaxis, yo.
But yeah, I would say 5 is the least tactically important, but the most personally relevant.
Yeah.
2 has greater impact than 5. 4 potentially has greater impact. At the very least, getting access to fire would be really handy.
Yeah.
So 1 and 4 can both be really good and are realistic goals, but 1 is probably really, 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 really hard.
Yeah.
And then 2 is probably easier and has a guaranteed feedback of getting something. And 3, I'm honestly not hoping for much.
So the thing is, though, if we do end up getting 3, that's a big war front that we've just gained. Right?
If we play one more hand of blackjack, I swear we'll get our money back. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I understand that's what it sounds like, but the thing is, this is the high risk, high reward play, and at this point, we are so fucked that we need to play the high risk.
Well, 1 and 4 would have very similar, while accounting for the realistic aspect of it working. 1 and 4 could actually do something real. 2 could uncover something that could help her craft better animates. 4 could give us access to fire for the animates. 1 could get us access to figuring out why the fuck fungus is everywhere. So
Nikki did just say something that I agree with on a pretty large level, which is to say, we have a very limited amount of time to work with here. Even though Nikki's ability to make, or Melifia's ability to make us travel faster is useful for that, the reality of the matter is working with not a whole lot of roadway in front of us. So we need to go for the high risk, high reward play, because whatever we end up doing at this time.
So I was counting that in.
Hold on. It needs to have a consequence at scale. That's the big thing.
Well, yes, but I'm saying that the high risk is that we get nothing. And I did the math for travel. Presuming a rest in between major transit, we sleep. We're at 6 days. We travel to, let's say, Garden Throne, and then walk to 2, and then ride to 3. Worst case, that takes 2. We're down to 4 days. Sleep at 3, teleport to 4, work our way to 5.
So yeah,
all of that can easily happen within 7 days.
So yeah, we could do all of them in 7 days. So it'd be transport to 1, right? Walk to 2, take Laquaxis to 3, right?
And get introduced.
Rest, long rest at 3, teleport to transport to 4, and then work our way to 5, and then back to the summer court. So that is like
if you scry ahead of
3
time
days
for 1.
I have another spell slot. I can scry right now to the Actually, no, I can't.
Scry right now. What the fuck to say?
I can't scry right now. I don't have it. I don't have it prepared. But I can do it first thing in the morning, and then still have the spell slot to transport via plants.
Yeah. So that sounds like it'll work.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna jump out.
All right. Have fun.
Okay.
I will pilot the one in your absence.
Yep.
See ya.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, and change him to acid. I haven't changed him.
Okay.
I haven't done that.
Okay.
Yet.
Keep your phone around, so in case something goes terribly wrong, we will text you crying. Well, I will text you crying.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right.
Take care of me.
Cool.
All right. Now's my time to flirt with Citralorn.
So how does
you're a father.
You my daddy. Hate that.
Yeah, thanks. I hate it.
You're so welcome, dude. Everyone good with that travel plan?
Yeah,
I'm down.
Okay. Chase, if you don't mind, while you're doing everything, I'm gonna re-prepare all of my spells.
Cool.
This is okay. Thank you.
So you guys go and are escorted from the court, the courtroom of the summer court. and you are eventually taken to a place that is familiar to Malafia. You're actually taken to the Feywild side of your grove.
Oh. Nice.
And the drow come with you. And the two that were sent off to medical return. They're actually already there waiting for you. And they appear to have been, they explain that they were given restoration enough that they're no longer super thirsty. Froderick takes you guys and sure, will you be needing anything for your guests for your rest before you are on your way tomorrow, Malafia?
I look to them and be like, I do not understand your material needs. I am a tree. If you need anything, I would tell Froderick right now.
Most of them kind of chatter to each other in Undercommon. They don't understand you, but eventually it gets translated. Counselor Leveros in kind of broken common. I think we have all we need for now. Safety is appreciated. And she kind of nods thank you to Froderick, and he fucks off. So you guys can take your long rest. I'm going to give you a long rest in Fantasy Grounds.
Please excuse me as I can everyone take a break for like, I don't know, 5 minutes just so I can redo my spell list? It's gonna take me a second.
I could use a 5-minute bio. I ate dinner during the first half of this, so I'm gonna get more food. Cool.
Sure.
All right, everyone eat, drink water. Give me 5 minutes to figure my life out, please.
All right, let me know if you still want the heal.
Yeah. The spells now cause. Okay, that doesn't help me. Does locate creature count? Like, would Nyx count as a creature, or your friend count as a creature, or is that locate person? Is that like a separate spell?
I don't think Jace is here.
He is not here.
Jace! Jace, come back!
Jace!
Jace!
Chase! Chase!
Austin, you need to join us too. He might hear you.
Fuck.
I'm the DM now. I need you guys to make a death saving throw.
Okay. Hey, no, okay. Honestly, you know enough about D&D that you can help me with this. For the locate creature spell, does that work on like Nyx, who is technically an Archfey? Does she count as a creature?
Yes, but be warned, as that might not be her official name. It may be difficult to locate her. Generally, you may become an Alep if you know the true nature of her name.
Okay.
Let me double check.
The other thing is I can also use this to locate the. Okay, that's only familiar. Yeah, I mean I can take it. I mean it's I'm not taking Wall of Fire because I'm going full look for transport help build instead of combat right now. Creature.
I mean, I guess I should ask, have you seen this thing?
Nyx before? Yes.
Okay. And is Nyx a god, a deity, or an actual creature?
Archfey.
Archfey.
Is it Archfey or Archfey?
I just like to put the arch.
Tomato, tomato, honestly.
Exactly.
Duke friends for
Yeah, therefore it's only a problem if we're talking to Andrew.
Fuck.
Potato, tomato.
Do I take Dispel Magic?
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
Oh yeah, that's a big good. That's the good.
I'm saying.
Good.
Because I've already taken Greater Restoration in case we find Nyx and she's like completely fucking like fucked up. I have enough. Chase gave me enough for one cast of Greater Resto, enough materials for it. So, in case shit's fucked, I have one Greater Resto. That's it. That's it for me, boys. That's it.
Sometimes one Greater Resto is all you need to save the world.
That's true.
I mean, ideally, one is all you need.
That's
One
true.
is all you need.
So I'm taking that specifically in case we find Nyx is, corrupted to all hell, and and she wants to eat us. Though I doubt she will. I don't know.
Speaking of eating, yeah, yesterday's conversation was pretty nice.
Well, it was yesterday's conversation.
You're gonna have to ask Jared.
Yikes. Okay.
What was that?
I was just mentioning how yesterday's conversation was pretty nice.
Oh god, which fucking one? I felt like we had a lot of fucking conversations last night.
The one that we had an ask a question in relation to.
I'm taking Pass Without a Trace for second level.
Oh, that's always a good one, yeah.
Yeah.
Sneaky sneaks are always nice.
Get
Oh.
plus stealth
Yeah.
checks. You are now the rogue, dude. Like, the only thing that could beat that is a rogue with fucking Pass Without Trace, but you don't really see that often.
Oh, that's true.
Fuck you, Austin.
Oh god, he's geeked. I got him. He's down.
That's... yes, did somebody roll a fucking 40? What the fuck? Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm good. So let me count how many spells I have. I should have a total of 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Fantastic.
I was gonna say, before 40, you pretty much cease to exist.
Yeah, you are no longer on this plane of existence. Thank you for playing this game.
Good job.
Not pass go. Do not collect 200.
Okay. So I'm going to be practically very not helpful a lot in combat because I have taken everything that's going to help us get from one place to the other as quickly and efficiently as possible and potentially help deal with problems that I see potentially happening.
That's fine.
So if we get into combat, I'm not going to be great. So just, you guys got to help me out here.
Oh, don't worry. Despero flex and everyone dies.
It's
It's
true.
true.
Say I smack things with axe, so.
Smack.
Excalibur. Oh, by the way, dude, Prince Philip died.
Yeah.
Like the Queen of England's husband. He's dead as fuck. What?
So is Prince Philip DMX?
DMX also died.
Okay.
No.
I mean,
Wait,
I've never seen both of them in the same place, and they both instantly died at the same time.
I guess they gave it their all, you know.
Okay.
This is from another server, but it's relevant.
I think I have all the spells. I think I have all the spells that I need. Do you want my spell list, Chase, or do you just trust me to have my spell list and keep track of everything?
I mean, I'd like it if you put it in the Fantasy Grounds because you can just go into preparation mode and check. Oh, no, you can't. Okay.
Well, my way was a nightmare, so yeah.
Oh, no, don't pick up my phone call. No, Chase, don't do that.
It's like, who the fuck is calling me? Oh, Christ, there it is.
That's my spell list, bro.
Yeah, damn.
See, I keep it nice and organized, don't I?
Conjure.
Yeah, okay. It doesn't have to spell correctly. It just has
You
to...
said it was a spell list. Why wouldn't it be spelled correctly?
Oh my fucking god!
Funny.
Rex. Wait, who laughed? What the?
That was Chase.
Okay.
Got him.
All right.
Welcome back.
You guys were laughing so hard. I heard Austin just cackling from his room. So my Discord went out at that exact moment.
Went out. Then...
You got him, coach.
Oh shit. So, yeah. So it doesn't have to be spelled correctly as long as you understand what is happening. Okay.
Connoisseur.
Connoisseur with unbeing.
Yeah, apparently druids back in the day were purely memory, so we have a hard time figuring out what they did because they hated writing stuff down.
That is true.
Get the fuck out.
No, it's a true
I
story.
know.
It's the crazy.
It's the what?
It's true story. It's fucking insane. Like imagine like they could have had the funniest joke ever, and they just like, hey, dude, guess what? And they tell it to them, right? But they didn't fucking write it down.
Very good.
To be fair, their
Should we
memory
write
was
that
usually
down?
pretty. Their memory's usually pretty good, and then on top of the fact that like really powerful druids end up living for like forever, almost forever.
Fuck.
Like super duper forever.
I've ever.
Yeah, shit's whack. 5 ever.
Okay. Oh, hey, so I wrote something down that I forgot to tell you guys. Jokaz discovered on the way that there were these underground. He examined the tunnels left by the siege breakers, and he found that underground they left in their path these kind of fungal polyps that were that appeared to be perpetuating the mycelium fungiform cover.
That's not good.
And he also found a type of what he related to like larvae, like maggots, that he saw appear
people
to come from come from that underground mycelium and very slowly like evolve into the raptors.
Oh. Well, shit.
It's concerning that that's happening underground because that means until they actually like deploy, or unless we dig all the fucking time everywhere, it's never going to be conspicuous if they're there in numbers.
Right. The problem is I wrote that down on my paper notes and not my internet notes. So now you know.
Well,
Man, I'm having flashbacks to Terraria.
All right, Chase, I'm all set up.
All right.
Thank you for that. There was one before
gotcha,
we are
gotcha.
fully set up, I have one question for you, Chase. I took locate creature on the assumption that Nyx is potentially a creature that I can locate. Is that? Or
As far as you know.
Okay, so her being an arc fey doesn't matter. She's still a creature.
As far as you know.
Okay, fantastic. Excellent. Great.
Okay, so you guys wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy and refreshed. So the drow,
I've been in.
there's a couple of options. The drow offer to stay and fortify Titania's fortifications,
Yep.
but they also need drow there in Asanalan to find their old research notes. Counselor Levros could go by herself with you guys.
I'd like to keep the party small for efficient travel, so I'd rather take just one of them.
Okay. So your options are Nubeni, Riago, or the counselor. Any of them could find the research notes. Nubeni is a ranger, Riago is a shadow blade, and Counselor Levros is a magic user of varying kinds.
We can't just use Riali to.
Rial probably would never have seen these notes in direct contact.
Yeah, not yet. I've heard of them, but not my area of expertise. Not yet.
I would rather take the counselor because I'm guessing the counselor might have the best shot at finding what we need to find.
Okay.
Also, a lot of mileage to be spoken for out of having another magic user in the party. I agree.
Both
And also-
Riago and Nubeni do know some magic.
Okay.
I was also thinking high int because our party is very low int in general, and we might need some high int in our lives. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm gonna move. So I can actually just
Because our average party intelligence is
Not fantastic. Yeah, Rio
Not
brings it up
great.
by a whole like 4 points.
It is true.
So yeah, so I would rather take the counselor because that might shoot our average party int up a little bit.
Okay. I'm gonna mute myself for a second while I figure something out.
Okay, I'm going to go use the bathroom because while everyone else was taking a break, I was working like a pack rat.
I swear to God, I thought you were going to say studying the blade.
All right. So you guys wake up in the morning, and Melifia, you want to scry on the garden throne?
Nikki said she would be right back.
Yeah, she's AFK, isn't she? Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah,
But that is the plan, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
Just to check in before we
I'm gonna
just
open
teleport.
my food so it's not.
Yeah, go ahead, eat.
Oh
no. What is it?
I don't even know if you'll find it funny, but I just found this really stupid shirt that I really, really want. I'll show you. Hold on.
Job, that picture's cursed, by the way. One you just posted, like 10 minutes ago.
I've never seen them at the same time.
I have returned.
It was relevant.
Yes, Trace, I am scrying. I'm scrying. My target is Nyx because I know who she is and I've met her before. So the target of my scry is Madame Nyx.
Nyx. Okay. All right. I need to roll a thing, and I need to read the save, the spell.
Hold on, I can pull it up for you so I can.
I'm reading it right now in D&D Beyond.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. You don't fucking need me.
1 second, Mason. Sorry, May is moving out of my room so that she can talk freely during her Heroes of the Storm game, and I just had to help her out. Okay, so you know, you are familiar with the target. You know the target well.
Yes.
You conveniently ask Titania, and she produces you a little flower figurine of Nyx.
Excellent.
Sure. So she gets -5 to the save, or -7.
Well, -7, and she can fail it voluntarily if she wants to be observed.
Yeah.
So she can fail it voluntarily if she wants.
Right. There you go. Okay, so what's your spell save DC?
Probably 16 or 17.
A lot.
Probably 17.
Hell of a lot. Hold on, I will let you know in 1 second. No actions.
4 plus 5 is 17.
17.
Okay, so you focus your scrying spell, and in the comfort of the summer court, you feel your connection deepen to the Feywild as you just kind of melt into the, psychically melt into the surrounding biomass that is the Arbor Exemplar and this massive amount of Fey power. And you find yourself just coursing over plains and rivers and grasslands and trees, and you see the ruins of Osana Lin go by. And ahead of you, you just see this encroaching darkness. And your presence is flying nightward, duskward. So you fly, you feel the wind whipping past you, and you feel the kind of presence of all the trees and life beneath you. And this bright beacon on the horizon just snaps into your view. And the Garden Throne appears almost lit up to you with these vibrant kind of ultraviolet colors, like you're shining a black light on plants that are showing. And you see the Garden Throne as you remember it, kind of encapsulated, kind of this little dome, this little self-contained environment of these brightly colored plants and twisting vines and deep, dense underbrush and tall towering trees of all different sizes and different shapes. But all of them are covered in this dark mold. This dark, splotchy, raised in places, just cancerous-looking mold. The entire Garden Throne is basically consumed in this mold, and you course your way through, and just like all Archfey, you know that Nyx is as much the land around her as she is her own being. And while your spell specified Nyx, you are getting a part of her, and you get. Let me find the image of Nyx. Where the fuck is she? There it is. And you see these. You do see Nyx, this horned, winged form, kind of vaguely melted into the flowers around her, and in the darkened space in which she lies, you see only briefly glimmers of her eyes as they peek open.
Okay.
And then you see the outside of her, the edges of her wings, but they're tattered and frayed. And you see the horns atop her head sheared off at the base. You see her hands, normally pale white, are twisted into twisted and curled in upon themselves, and almost completely black and covered in coursing veins. Her kind of stem, if you will, her legs and waist are mired in long vines and long dark patches of mold. And as your vision kind of distorts and fades and is disrupted for a moment, you see kind of stepping into frame in front of Nyx, in front of this kind of slack-jawed, eyes barely open and pleading for help Nyx. You see step in front of her a slender form, a curling vine kind of takes the sensor, the arcane sensor, and pulls it to and forces your attention onto her, and in a sultry voice, let me find it. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Sorry, a charisma saving throw.
Oh, way worse. Way worse. Okay. Okay, next I'm gonna move you a little bit so I can actually... Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. You sure you don't want a wisdom saving throw? You know.
I'm sure I want charisma. In fact.
Okay.
Okay.
15.
Okay.
I saw it sit on that 4 for like a little.
I did. I saw it sit on that 4 for way too long. Oh no!
You take 31 points of psychic damage.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God.
Okay. That's
and are confused
okay.
as this creature just forces your attention on them, and you see through the
how much damage again?
31.
Oh, okay. I'm bloodied. I'm not happy, but go on.
Where the fuck is it? There it is. You see the gaunt cheeks and the glowing yellow eyes of the same twisted dryad.
Oh, you bitch. Okay.
And as they whisper into your ear, you hear, "I was like you once. Young and fresh and full of optimism.
That's good.
But there is power beyond that which you can imagine on this plane and beyond it. This dreadful place mirrors the home of the pathetic mortals, those who have long forgotten the face of their maker. And I will see it undone. And she releases the arcane sensor, and your confusion kind of takes hold as you feel just a spike of pain drive through your forehead. And you see walking towards Nyx with vines wrapping all around them, this dryad figure whip their hands out and begin constricting the darkness around Nyx, and you can see Nyx is in physical pain.
Okay.
Before, you know what? Make an insight check for me.
Okay. Okay. I'm not terrible at those. Actually, I'm great at those.
That's pretty
17.
good. So you catch the barest hint of what she's doing. You've seen somebody use a spell like this before.
Oh no.
And whatever you see, the plants and darkness collapsing around them, you see, reminds you of something you once saw in a dream. You saw Aridin, or at least the body that Aridin was in, summon a sphere of darkness that annihilated everything within it and everything for miles around.
Okay.
You see that same kind of distortion and compression of space that figure, that Bahamut figure that Aridin was in the dream.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear, the last thing you hear in the scry is the tearing sound, and Nyx's faint scream begin to rise in volume before your vision goes black.
Shit. Fuck.
Right.
Do we still see Nyx?
No, she's gone from my
She
vision.
was swallowed in the blackness.
Ah. What?
So, does it register physically? Like, do we notice that Melifia is absolutely fucking going through it right now?
She visibly, from her scry ritual, which took like 10 minutes to set up, or a minute, I don't remember. Actually, is scrying a ritual?
It is, I believe.
It is not.
Oh.
It is concentration.
No,
10
it's
minutes.
concentration 10
Passing
minutes.
time 10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
It would be stupid strong if it were a ritual.
Yeah, no, I lose the spell slot. Jeez.
I need you to roll a d10 for me, Malafia.
Oh, jeez. Okay, all right. Okay, here we go. Any modifiers?
Nope.
Any? Okay, 4.
So you see Malafia during this ritual. She begins kind of slowly trembling, and as she channels, looking into this kind of glass-like water basin of water that she set up as part of this ritual. As she's setting this ritual up, she sets up this like kind of like the Himalayan like resonating basins that that ring, and the water's rippling. But as soon as she begins the spell, the water just turns completely flat like a mirror, and you see her just meditating on this. She begins slowly trembling in her hands, and you can see the leaves around her kind of start to raise up just on their own accord. And there appears to be some light, like anti-gravity effect going on near Malafia. And then suddenly she recoils in pain, her head snapping back, and she remains fixed. And she remains fixed there. Her feet kind of very slowly clenching the floor with like roots coming out of her. So she remains balanced, but otherwise snapped back, almost as if she's paralyzed. And 10 or 12 seconds later, she and releases and puts her head in her hand and puts her hand on her forehead where that hurt.
Despero is looking at her visibly alarmed. You do not seem
roll another d10, Nikki.
Okay. Okay.
Despero, go ahead.
Jared barely got a word out before that. Oh, another
4.
Okay.
Yay.
Jared, go ahead.
Oh yeah, Despero's just saying, you do not seem as well as you did before you began that ritual. Are you okay, Malafia?
She remains. She's kind of sat up for this point and put her head in her hands, but then she freezes again.
Oh shit!
And then releases. And it's clear she didn't hear the back half of your sentence there.
Nope.
He doesn't repeat himself, but he's still got that look on his face that just absolutely says, "Bitch, you good?"
Am I even looking at him? Can I not even be looking at him? I'm a bit busy at the
You're
moment.
not. And as you stand up, kind of with the help of your staff.
Yeah.
Despero, what's your touch AC? Oh well, that misses. Never mind. Malafia sweeps her staff just sideways at you, just at your midsection, but it falls short. She's not used to melee attacking, and she quickly returns it to support herself.
Despero is going to attempt to physically restrain her, but kind of also support her because
I was gonna say as soon as she goes to attack Despero, Joe's gonna like rush behind her and actually like put her in a hold.
All right, go ahead and make a grapple check or an athletics check. Malafia, make a
contested
actually,
athletics.
You don't make a contested. Joe, you automatically succeed on this. As Malafia leans on the staff and freezes in place again.
I'm doing it.
Yeah,
fucking hell. I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah, there's no way.
Oh.
I have a -1 in athletics. You're fucking. I'm not hard. I'm a tree. You're just a tree hugger right now.
Can I also assist in restraining her?
Are you sure you want to assist
Joe comes up and Joe comes up and just puts her in a full Nelson.
Oh, okay. Because I
just behind under the shoulders and hands behind the neck and is basically bent her over and is restraining her.
Oh, I was gonna point my gun at her and reduce.
Oh.
Okay, so Joe, in your grasp, Malafia just goes whoop to little like baby Groot size.
Oh, okay, then I'm just gonna Joe's gonna like look alarmed
Just-
for a second and then just like
And then just
grab
cup her a little bit.
Yeah.
Just like.
Yeah, you can do the full Nelson with your fingers if you need to.
She's just gonna like.
Or you could
hold
just
her
do the
fist.
one,
I'm just
the
gonna,
one
like,
hand grab.
like the King Kong fist holding her.
Yeah, perfect. All right. It's especially accurate because Malafia, I believe, is topless, right? That is definitely the King Kong grab then.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, Mel wears, you know,
No
she
clothes,
has like
yeah.
she wears a dress, right? But it's actually just her body.
Okay.
It's actually just her body.
Okay. Same point though.
Yeah.
Okay, so Melifia eventually, yeah, one more time she tries to swing at Joe, but literally just with the toothpick that is her staff, just boink off your hand.
Just bonk.
doesn't even pierce skin, doesn't even hurt you. And then Melifia, you feel the confusion fade. You feel that vision of the scry all kind of rewind real fast through your vision. And you snap back to your senses, and you realize you are being held in a gigantic predator's claw.
Oh god. Okay, I'm gonna poke it with a stick. By poke it in the stick, I mean whack the hand with the stick because I don't know what's going on right now.
Okay,
and the
she
only
whacks you with a
sensible
stick.
thing-
That's a 20 to hit. It does
You actually hit me.
0 points of damage.
Okay.
That's fine.
It does 1 - 1 point of damage.
Yep. Yes, it does. I have a -1 to strength. Don't even worry about it. Can I bonk her and it actually heals her 1 point of damage?
Yeah, it eventually you can see her in your fist, Joe. Just kind of like come back to her senses and kind of look around confused before smack, like smacking one of your knuckles.
Stop.
What is?
You look up and
What
there's
is
a
going on?
gigantic crocodile head inches from your face.
What is?
You
happening?
recognize it's Joe.
What is going on?
Are you back?
What? Yes. Back is a strong word. Can I be not small and can I be released? I'm gonna keep bonking her with my stick until she lets me go.
I
Not
look
like
at Joe
seriously,
like,
but just like you know, beating a bongo drum. Just like donk 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 donk.
I look at Joe like, are you good with this?
She's gonna like sigh, and it's like if she tries to do something like not this, but the other thing earlier again, then I'll take her down myself. And she's just gonna like slowly like almost like her trying to put down like an egg gently with smell on the ground to allow her to be big again without exploding her hand.
Alright, I drop my concentration on it.
Okay. Yeah, you return to normal size. That's better. Kitchalorn comes up to you and... Tree, that was unusual even for you. Are you okay?
Was that your Kitchalorn impersonation?
Yes.
It was not bad. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I am not sure searching for Nyx may be fruitful anymore, for I am no longer sure that she is alive.
The Archfair not so easily destroyed.
Yes, but she is.
I would have had a much better time in the Fae last time.
However, you remember the dryad creature that we fought?
Of course, I shot her.
Yes. She is currently with Nyx at this very moment. And Nyx is... not doing so well. I believe we still should go, if at least to eliminate that particular threat. However, I'm not sure how well Nyx will
I
fare.
think we have the time for an extended engagement. Stop mincing words. How was Nyx? How was the Archfey, he would say.
I am not sure Archfey can die, but if they could, she is very near it. If we are to go, we are to go now, but do know that if we go, we will be walking into a fight.
He kind of flexes and, well, I feel adequately prepared to fight on our terms. Walking into a fight like that would be bad tactics.
I do believe that we cannot leave her, however.
What was that? We cannot what?
We cannot leave her as she is.
I am, as ever, prepared to put my weapons to use.
If we want to go, we need to go now.
Despero looks over to Riol and Joe. Do the both of you object, or do either of the both of you object to going for this fight?
No, it seems our help is necessary.
I'm always for
All right.
The counselor says, I do not know if this is a fight we can win. Did you describe the entirety of your scrying spell?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That magic you described, it sounds like Dunamancy. It sounds a lot like Dunamancy. And if they have that as well, if this Dryad has the access to the Dunamantic powers of the Drow, they could be a much more formidable foe than you may account for. I would caution going into that place. As the Drake said earlier, is the reward worth the high risk?
Should this Archfey perish in earnest, what would be the consequences of our inaction?
I know that Nyx governs rot, decay, and also like the rebirth of life, right?
Yes, yeah. The cycle of death and rebirth.
Yeah. So that
of specifically plants.
Yeah. So if she is gone, then that part of the cycle is gone. Right?
She's yes.
Yeah.
To your knowledge, yes, that they do influence, like as a Archfey grows stronger, their domain over the activities of the Feywild also grows stronger.
Yeah.
The Feywild is controlled primarily by the force of personality that a creature exudes on it.
Yeah. So within the Feywild and potentially even affecting the material plane, the cycle of rebirth would be lost.
What's to say she's not already dead, destroyed, subdued at least?
There is nothing to say that, but
If
there is even
Nubeni had anything to say about it, she would say to leave them. An injured hunter is no use to the pack.
Yes, but if I can even get to her, I could potentially fix it.
If potentially, do we have time to dabble in questions like this? 7 cycles is not as long as you think.
I say it is at least worth a shot.
We might need to bolster our defenses before we tackle Nyx's problem head on.
In what way, Real?
Maybe rethink the order in which we plan to go through our objectives.
We could instead go a reverse direction. We could go from the river all the way up to the sea, like go all the way seaward to the Winter Court first, and then head east.
Would that be? That's another question, though. And Controller, I agree. King Tidal is, or sorry, the King of Winter is no sure thing. He may not help us at all. He may hinder us. If we need to bolster our defenses, what of the fire of the Solar Prince, the Sun Prince? That seemed to me in the conversation we had to be the most sure.
The Sun
I
Prince.
do not wish. I am so close to returning to my home for the first time in hundreds of years. I do not wish to throw my life away on some blind endeavor.
The problem is
I-
the Solar Throne, if we ask for their help to help save Nyx, they're probably not going to be likely to want to.
Not just that. The Sun Prince is fickle at best, insane at worst.
Everything
He
is
is as
fucking insane in the Feywild. No offense.
and he is the most unpredictable of all of the Archfey. As fickle as fire itself.
Well, perhaps if these... The question posed to Samath earlier was not a full question, I think. Drake, you wanted them to discover, or Despero, it was you, wanted to discover if they were led by an intelligent creature, which this dryad seems to be, or if they were a more feral hive mind. But they showed a capability of adapting in a relatively short time. The time between their attacks was, 3-4 cycles? And they developed artillery? So if they can adapt, perhaps what we need is the unpredictability of a wildfire.
I think there is merit in that perspective. It is now, after having gotten... Actually, did Melifia tell us what the dryad creature said?
I think
Yes.
so, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
After obtaining the knowledge that we now have about this dryad creature, it is my position that the highest possible priority we have is doing whatever must be done to mount the force necessary to eliminate this creature. As I said before, when fighting against something larger than you, your advantage usually exists in its beating heart, and I think we have now found it.
What's to say that that's not the tip of the spear?
Yes, but even so, removing the tip of a spear is sometimes just might buy us enough time.
Can we take the spear head on?
If it
I would like
was
to think that we could.
powerful enough to eliminate Nyx, and at this point, Despero looks to Melifia. You know of Nyx's depth of power better than we do. Are we strong enough to defeat something that could defeat her?
Absolutely not. But
That was great timing with the music, Jared, by the way.
absolutely not. However, I don't think this creature was alone in defeating Nyx. I believe that her army and contingency may be, concentrated elsewhere now. That if we move as quickly as we can, we may not be facing an army, we may just be facing her. And if that is the case, I think we might win.
But then again, she saw you, correct? Who's to say that she
Yes,
isn't
but
already
armies take time to move. Yes, but armies take time to move. We can be there now.
Who's to say if they're not already there?
There isn't anything to say that, other than, the majority of her forces were either engaged in the what was the solar side battle called again? Because ours was Meyerworth, theirs was what was that?
I haven't said it. I haven't said it out loud before today, so I'm going to Whispergrasp Rampart.
Yeah, was the majority of her contingency probably was blown away by Blaze at Whispergrass, as well as the battle we fought at Meyer. What is it? Meyerworth?
Meyerworth. Fort Meyerworth.
Fort Meyerworth. She's probably rebuilding the army now for the next wave. If there is a time, it would be now. Between waves.
It's been about 12 hours since the end of the fight at Meyerworth. Like, it has not been very long.
Yeah. Between waves. If there is any time, it would be now between.
I am willing to place the weight of my spear either behind this creature's back or behind the effort to get fire within our reach as a tool. Melifia, you are our guardian here, so I will continue to defer to you. And then Despero looks to everyone else again. But we should probably come to a consensus before we go.
Completely on a different. There doesn't appear to be a person limit on my transport via plants.
It's how many creatures you can cram through a tree in 6 seconds.
You know, the Arbor Exemplar is a big fucking tree, but it's just a tree.
Yeah, and I can only.
So it only opens a medium-sized portal, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking we could choose it. Like, I mean, this is a tree. What if it's this size tree? Cram a lot of shit through that.
It also has to be a similar sized tree on the other side.
Yeah. So there's only one Arbor Exemplar.
Right.
So I wouldn't be able to open an Arbor Exemplar-sized hole in another tree.
Just tears the fucking plane in half. Just
Here we go. Yeah. So, if we want, I could see if Hermescent is willing to come with us to help, but I doubt that she is willing to leave.
She was told by Titania that she had to see to the defenses of the Arbor Exemplar.
Yeah, that's what I
She and Jokaz were supposed to bolster the defenses here with whatever they could.
Yeah.
And the rest of the Drow are going to stay and do the same.
Yeah. So if we go, we go now.
Let's put it to a vote. We don't want to flounder too much on this.
Okay. All right. Mel is absolutely voting for going because she just saw Nyx in pain and she is not going to let that fly. So
the counselor immediately speaks up. I don't think we have time to engage in this combat. Though the reward for rescuing the Archfey would be great.
It's a yes or no.
My vote is unfortunately no. We could better spend our time elsewhere.
But everybody else?
Despero wants to go.
Yeah. Joe.
You're up for a fight.
Yeah, but a fight that she can win, or at least
we could win this.
Chant. In her brain, it's remember she was in the room with Nyx for a while, and she remembers how overpoweringly powerful she was. And if this person could mess up Melifia from this far of distance, then that's not great.
Oh yeah, Melifia, you're still damaged, by the way.
I know that.
Okay.
I know that. I've marked it on my sheet. I'm not doing hot, but that's
okay. You have the resources here to get somebody to heal you should you need to real fast.
Yeah, I'm gonna look to one. Is there any servants in this room?
All the Drow have not left your grove yet.
Yeah.
So you can get. You know what? I'll just have New Benny and Riago each drop a cure wounds into you.
Thank you.
So 22 and 23 hit points back. You're probably good.
Yeah, I'm good. I am back to completely fine. Okay.
Honestly, this whole okay, let me just put you in the mind frame of Joe. Joe has signed up for something that she didn't think she was signing up for by going on this mission. This long mission. Going.
Oh, yeah, this is just supposed to be a bounty.
Yeah, no. So this is a lot more than she signed up for. Yeah, she's still interested a bit due to the vision she got that one time when she first entered the Feywild, but honestly, if the group as a whole says we're going, she'll go, but personally, she's a no.
Okay.
All right. So
Does somebody want to text Devin to see a yes or no?
Okay. I'll message him right now. He's been messaging me. Let me mute for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're 2 yes, 2 no. It does leave Kitchalorn and Riol at this point.
I am a no. I am for saving Nyx, but I think us at our current level, we might be better off hitting another point before seeing her directly.
She did deal 20 points of psychic damage to fucking Malafia by thinking at her aggressively.
31.
I'm sorry, 31 points of damage to her by thinking at her aggressively. So yeah, that's fair.
To be fair, I am not very good at the whole not
thinking thing.
Yeah, the charisma thing is not really my shtick. You know, that's why I wanted the wisdom saving throw because I'm good at that.
So it looks like the total leaning is no, and well, I mean, we're still waiting to see what Devin says as well, but that kind of is a relief to me because
Kitchalorn is so far saying yes.
Okay, because Despero definitely wants to go in.
Did you
I don't
describe what
want
happened
to.
in the dream to him?
I did.
So
Okay,
we're at an impasse then.
Well, if we add up all the charismas together, I think Kitchalorn sides win.
Kitchalorn and Despero are actually pretty well. No, Despero's only a 16 now.
I'm also a 16. Wait, no, hang on. I think I'm a 14.
Now just.
Oh, I'm a 16 in charisma.
This doesn't have to be, you know. If you can hold the Dryad off, and I can restore Nyx enough to the point that she is awake and capable, then the tide turns. Nyx is fighting for us then.
The counselor kind of, you know, you might have something, but I'm not much of a combatant myself, but I do have powerful healing magic.
As do I. Together, if all we need to do is hold it off for us to get Nyx able to even fight at half her power, we would win.
That's a good thought, Guardian. I think between our magics, and I know Riol is capable of some healing as well. Whew. This is a risky endeavor.
Quick question, Counselor. Do you happen to have any spells which require concentration?
I do. I have a number.
Are they helpful in combat?
Yes. Protections. A few offensive spells of natures that I've not particularly had an opportunity to use.
Alright. Just wondering.
Do you have a way of protecting that?
I do. I can bolster your concentration if you are not in case you're not an experienced warcaster.
I am not particularly experienced in the art of
warcasting, as you call it. No, I'm fortunate enough to be born after the time of the matriarchs.
All right, I can assist you there.
I much appreciate it, Real. I'll see if you can manage to keep my concentration.
Then it seems as though we are ready to seize this opportunity.
I am at least more
as a note.
confident about our chances.
Good. Just as a note, for me to cast Greater Restoration on Nyx, I need to touch her. So it's going to be a keep. It's going to be a keep away while I run towards Nyx.
Well, I was gonna say, if you took Pass Without a Trace, we could try to sneak in.
I did take Pass Without a Trace. We can attempt to sneak in.
If the Dryad saw your invisible scrying eye, I think she would see us.
Agreed. Because I know that I know sure as fuck I would see me. She doesn't say that, but I'm thinking that.
Uh-huh.
I would see us.
So here's an important question if we're going to do this. Not that I want to keep this deliberation too long, but I mean, it is an important decision we're making. Do we have an exfiltration plan? So say we get there, we start, fighting the fuck out of this bitch, and then, you remember, these things can travel and are created in a subterranean way. What if, 9,000 enemies sprout up from the fucking ground?
Remember, a lot of them got destroyed during the double, because she just fought a war on two fronts and lost both of them.
Right.
Her troops are not ready to go yet. If there is a time, it would be now.
They left early, so I'm back up here with Patron and a beer.
Welcome back.
They were drinking and they left? What?
One of them was fairly sober.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the exfiltration plan is,
We're going in there.
This is kind of short answer. You guys don't have an exfil plan.
Yep.
Melfield transport via plants is a one-way ticket right now.
Yeah. Yep.
Wait, what did the scrying reveal? A murder fest on the other side?
Not a murder fest, just the Dryad. You remember the Dryad that was on the battlefield that was artillery bombing us? She's there. We don't know how many other people are there, but from the cursory glance that I got over the place with scrying, I didn't see anyone else. To be fair, she just fought a war on two fronts and lost both of them. Well, lost is a strong word, but lost significant forces in both of them. We are in the lull between waves. And if there is a time, now would be the time. If we give it a couple of days, she will have forces again.
Yeah, and Nyx will be weaker.
Yep.
What do you see as suppressing Nyx? Is she just tapped into her, or is Nyx just asleep?
She's awake, but she's,
being tortured.
Very, very weak. Yeah, and she has corruption, but I have Greater Resto. The plan currently seems to be we're gonna play King of the Hill, and the hill is Nyx. So if I can get to her and touch her and Greater restore her, and we can get enough healing magic in her that she can fight, we win because she's an Archfey.
Well, okay, worth noting, she was an Archfey before and lost.
That's true, but she lost against an army. Right now, she's losing. Right now, there's one Dryad that we see right now.
No. These are two separate facts. We know that the Dryad has an army. We know the Dryad beat the Archfey. We do not know that the Archfey used the army to beat the Dryad used the army to beat the Archfey.
Yeah, and the more I think about it, we also can't take the fact that she fought this two-fronted war to stand as a piece of evidence that she's now without a force at her backing. We don't actually know what their number is.
And she's going to be calling in reinforcements, no doubt, from wherever. Unless we can cut off her connection to the ground, which seemed to be how she was communicating with the artillery.
I'm just saying that there...
I appreciate your point that now is the lull.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think if anything changes.
The thing for me is we either do this now or we don't do it at all. Because if we don't, now is our best shot, and if we don't take it now, then we're just not going to save Nyx. And
what are the rulings explicitly on your transit?
The rulings explicitly is it is one turn. I open up a gate and we can squeeze as many people in within 6 seconds as possible.
And you could do it once a day.
Once a day. Once per
Exfil
long
is-
rest, technically.
And was your scry only inside the throne, or was it the run up to the throne?
I got to run up into the throne.
So you saw the area around it.
Yeah,
It's covered in a
and it is complete.
cancerous mold.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, depending on how fast they're able to refill forces in 2 days.
The thing is, it hasn't been 2 days though. It's been 12 hours since the battle.
Yeah. So what I was thinking is we could port to find a place to take a long rest there, hoof it to 1, and use the transit to get out if it goes south. But if we do that and we get nothing, we burn an entire 2 days.
Yeah.
I mean, is there a way out physically if we just port into the throne?
That's why I'm talking exfil.
There's no
You wouldn't be able to port into the throne. There's no trees there, but you could port into the gardens.
Yeah. To get into
you saw specifically one large tree in the gardens that would be a suitable
Mhm.
portal location.
Yep. And I've seen that
Uh,
tree, so I can port there.
Yeah.
And we would need a way to stop a dryad from contacting nature. I don't suppose any of you guys got banished, do you?
Let me double check. I don't think so. Fucking hold on. I do not.
I definitely do not.
Nope.
I mean, hold on. It's so reliant on her needing those vines to communicate, but there could theoretically be a play where if I just keep acid on the ground beneath her, we know that it works on everything that we've tested it on. The vines shouldn't be able to punch through that with impunity.
I guess my
Now-
own thing is Nikki's right that this does represent a unique opportunity. And Despero already talked a big game about like, hey man, get at the heart and the rest of it's useless, right? So there's merit in this idea. However, here's my thing. The consequence of failure in this specific circumstance, if we're wrong about our appraisal of what she can and cannot do, we're gonna TPK. Like this is gonna be the end. We're gonna fucking die.
Well, that's what I was asking. Is there a physical opening that we can leave from, or is it some Fey bullshit where it's inside of a portal of fuck shit?
No, it's not. We can physically leave. We've walked out of the court before. I know the way out. We've literally walked out of it before.
When we first got here.
Like, if worst comes to worst, right? We go T-Rex, hop on the back of the T-Rex, and we fucking run. We sprinted out of there.
No, so let's be 100% real here. Me and Tyre are dipping out of there if shit goes sideways. I don't know about y'all.
I'm also dipping out.
Also dip very quickly.
I'm booking the counselor with me, but I'm dipping out, big or small.
What, you're taking the counselor with you?
I
You're
mean,
taking the counselor with us?
The counselor was
Yeah.
of the three. There were 3 people three drow who could go with you to get the research. The counselor, Nubeni, or Ryogo. The
now
counselor
that
knows
the
the most
situation
magic
is
and has
changed.
powerful healing magic. Nubeni's a ranger, and Ryogo is a shadow blade. He knows a little bit of magic as well. Yeah, now that the situation's changed, you might consider bringing a couple more drow with you.
Yeah.
I think
A strike. I mean, I've been talking about a strike force since we walked into the Feywild.
We
So-
can actually fit the drow through the portal with us, because
Yeah, we
I
can.
can. I mean,
I think bringing too many people is going to be like 6 seconds. How many people can we reasonably fit?
see, here's the thing. I have a half-filled portable hole that we can fill with people, and I can just deploy, pick up, deploy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
As we jump through. The other half is filled with my personal items. Don't worry about it.
But can you pick it up while there's people in it?
Yeah. They
Don't
have 10
worry
minutes
about
of air. I'll open it within seconds of going through the portal. These are my people, after all.
That is a little bit of a force multiplier.
It is.
It's also the last of a species that we could be killing.
Yes.
Only half of the last of the species.
I just want you to reevaluate that sentence and try again. Thank you.
I stand by what I said.
Okay.
Only half Genesis.
Well,
Sounds like we're gonna eat the fucking dryad.
I think it's
It's more like we're trying to save Nyx first and foremost.
Well.
Yeah. Well, okay, but we're gonna have to body the dryad to do that.
Yeah.
So, is there any way to stop a dryad from tree striding, or is that just nothing we can do about it type of shit?
Well, to be fair, there's no trees directly in the area that we're fighting her.
It's the Fae.
Do we know if that's a thing who can dispel magic?
For what you've seen, it's not been you're pretty in tune with Arcana, and when Melifia's done it, it does not appear to be a spell per se.
So it's natural kind of
it's
thing?
It's innate, yeah.
I'm gonna be completely honest though.
It is teleportation.
Her tree striding away is not a total failure condition.
True.
That means
it's not a failure condition until the fucking horns of Gondor blast in the distance.
Well, no, it still means we still have our best possible opportunity to administer aid to Nyx.
Unless she's actively being tapped by the dryad.
But the thing is, I can clear her of being tapped. I have Chase
we
gave
know
me
that
enough
we
resources
for
one
that
cast
works
of
on
Greater
Drow.
Resto.
We know that works on Drow. We don't know if that works on a fucking demigod of the Fae.
Greater Resto. I have one cast of Greater Resto. If that means I can clear her with Greater Resto, right? Then that's
Worst
good.
case, it doesn't work. What's our next option?
The Nyx is fucked, and then the whole Feywild is fucked.
Then we're fucked.
Yes.
Well, no,
but
unless it's if the dryad literally just has something on Nyx that is actively recursing her.
Yeah.
I mean, she is channeling a spell on her right now that seems to be contradicting her with darkness.
Yeah.
I mean...
So, guys, we're giving Chase too much time to set up this encounter. Okay?
I will allow this on one condition, and that is if the Drow get to pick on a personal level who comes, and B, I need to fashion a fucking harness, a rigging for Tyr.
Can I?
Not a saddle per se, but something.
Can I use some vines
Just anything
and
you
help
can
him
use
to grab and go?
Can I vine Tyr up?
Real, as you see them, as you see them kind of clumsily trying to figure out a way to conditionally strap Kitchorn onto this fucking wyvern, who is very unhappy with the concept.
Here I have a few harnesses in my portable hole. If you'd like me to adjust them for your size.
Literally just a series of straps, so something I can grab onto or wrestle my arm and tie it into, so you can just.
Well,
I'm talking emergency exfil.
That can be arranged.
Oh, you've come to the right place.
Oh, boy, howdy.
Go ahead and make a tinkering check, Real. So it's your int plus your proficiency modifier. Perhaps your expertise. Are you expertise in tinkering?
I have expertise in anything that I am proficient in. I have double proficiency with any tool with proficiency.
Oh, okay. So you get W at expertise in it.
I would like to assist him if it's a matter of fitting it to Tyr.
Yeah, it's your assistance is required to fit it to Tyr because at first Tyr's Tyr hisses at you and kind of flares his wings a little bit at Real's approaching with a harness.
I will not ride you unless necessary. This is a matter of life and death down the road.
Yeah. So Real, go ahead and make your tinkering check with advantage.
That should be double proficiency means 8 plus 3.
8 plus your int, and then plus what you rolled. Yeah.
I'm just gonna type that out because since I don't have that. 8 plus int would be 11. Okay.
With advantage.
Wow, what?
With advantage.
With advantage. Okay, good.
It was almost on the 19. I was so sad.
Yeah, I was so stoked for the 19.
That's better than a 1.
That is better than a 1.
Yeah, with a small amount of extra fasteners through loopholes and ropes and harnesses and a surprising amount of high quality leather. Real assembles out of this bag of tricks this portable hole You see them kind of stair step down. They're kind of pink hair descending into this portable hole, and they just come out with an array of various straps and harnesses that are fixed in a fashion that will allow you to. They also kind of carefully take measurements around Kitchalorn's waist, getting just a little too close, and affix one to you as well with kind of a carabiner hook that you can basically clip on to Tyre. So you have you can write down a quote saddle.
Good. Inventory.
Oops.
See, our problem is we can't walk out of Mordor right now. We need the eagles. That's our biggest problem. Like, we need the eagles to come down to lift us out of Mordor. And it's just... Look, I can be an eagle. I just can't be that, you know.
Sorry for my relative quietude. I'm realizing that if we're about to go into a fight, I A, need to take my 6th level spell because I never did that, and B...
Do that now, please.
And B, I need to refresh myself on these character mechanics because some alterations have been made recently. So if we're going to be fighting, I should probably know how to use my character.
Some significant alterations to his class have been made. Ancestral Magic Sorcerer 2.0 or 2.01 is now available, as Devin and Austin and I have worked on it for a couple days running now.
So fun thing about the spells in this right now, they don't have a lot of the spells that I need to go into my other form. So
really?
Yeah, I looked and it didn't have any of the shit.
What book?
Well, one of them's from Tasha's for sure.
Yeah, I don't have Tasha's anything. I have to custom make a lot of these because I'm fucked if I'm buying any of these modules.
Chase, again,
then if I could just let me see.
I can, but I'm not gonna buy them for Fantasy Grounds.
Oh, for Fantasy
Yeah. So I'm custom making the spells in here.
They do not have Vitriolic Sphere.
How much does it cost? Chase, how much does it cost to get you the things for Fantasy Grounds?
I have no idea. I have not even looked. That's how against it I am.
Okay.
It's like book price.
Yeah, I'm not. No.
If you could pick one for a late, very very late Christmas gift, which one would you pick out of all the books?
I would tell you not to waste your money because I'm going to make the spells anyway.
Okay.
It was his birthday recently.
No, it will be his birthday.
Oh no! Okay.
Do we want to?
No, I thought it was this week.
On a geological scale, it was his birthday recently.
Next week, yeah.
Do we all want to pool together and see if we can get Chase a birthday
Not the
present?
12th. Gotcha.
Yeah, really, do not worry about it. I'm going to make the spells anyway, and a whole bunch more. So
Yeah, do you want like chance of COVID for your birthday?
I mean, yeah. Just fuck me up, Captain.
Fuck me up.
I'm not vaccinated yet. Let's go. It's the millennial dream to die. Let's fucking go.
Let's go.
Also, I wanted something to replace Kona Cold in Element, and I was kind of looking at like a Cloud Kill Kona Cold hybrid acid thing, but there's nothing like that for acid.
Is Cloud Kill poison?
Yeah.
Whatever, we'll figure it out. For the time being, just reflavor a Kona Cold with acid damage.
Gotcha.
So actually, you guys noticed that Kitchalorn today, he's a little looser after getting up. Like he's not quite as stiff in his motions. Like almost a hair more feral. Like he's irritable for sure, but he's also weirdly prideful. Not that that's weird. Like even more so prideful and a little bit more aggressive, like territorial in his actions. And he kind of smells a little bit more, just a little spicy.
So visually, all that's changed is you see that there's little nubs coming off the top of my head in the blackness, and on my scales there's a ring of very faint iridescent black around the argent on all of the scales. But I'm strutting everywhere right now. I'm very much walking and claiming wherever I walk.
All right.
Nice.
So you guys are headed to. So it takes you. I'll say it takes you guys about, I don't know. That was a pretty good tinkering check as far as the requirements were. It takes you guys like half an hour to build the harness for Tyr. Which other drow are you taking with you? Well, okay. Let me rephrase that. Counselor Levros poses the question to the drow, "Hey, we're going somewhere stupid. Anybody want to come?" Okay. And a number of people. So he's like, "All right. So first things first. I'm not taking any more than half of the total group, and we're going somewhere very dangerous, and we are going to be fighting. Those of you who are not coming, your job is now to defend the to shore up the defenses around the Arbor Exemplar." And a number of drow kind of volunteer. So you get, you know what? I'll say you guys get 1 elite warrior swarm. So five elite warriors, and both Shadow Blades will come with you too.
Because the counselor's coming.
Yeah, because the counselor's coming.
How do we fit them in?
That's 7 people. The Shadow Blades are very fast. They can make it through with you guys.
Okay.
And the five troops, you'll just sardine inside the portable hole.
Wipe your feet before you enter, please.
They're very confused.
I also want to make sure they have fire arrows, because I swear to God, if any of them are like,
take this later.
If any of them are sitting there like, "Oh, fire arrows, why would I use that when Elven construct?" I'm just gonna fucking clock them.
Cool.
Like,
Hermescent actually she helps you by creating a number of those pitch pocket arrows that you can. So you just need a way to light them.
Yeah, which shouldn't be too hard. And I'd like to refill our supply of mollies. If we can't save Nyx, we're gonna give her a goddamn Viking funeral.
Okay. So you guys want to take another hour of crafting and prepare for this?
Yeah, I'll make a few torches.
Okay. You can create a lot of pitch, like sap, and you can create. You know what? She can create. Once it's described to Hermescent, she'll create peat, and little peat sticks for the drow. So they do have, with some instruction, they have a basic way of one. So basically, Kitchorn, you conjure some flame. Do you have any? You have chromatic orb. So you have access to fire. So you just conjure enough flame to light the peat sticks and then chain light them together.
Yeah, I also have prestidigitation for the same.
Okay,
same thing.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys take another hour. Joe, is there anything else you want to prepare?
Look, I got nothing. I just got an axe, man.
I got javelins. Where's javelins?
I did pick up my javelins from the last fight, so I do have a few more.
All right, fire javelin.
Yeah, I was about to say, you know what's better than javelins? Javelins on fire.
Okay, I'll
just duct tape a Molotov to the side of the ball.
Yeah, make a survival check for me, Joe.
Oh, great. This is gonna go great.
You've made flaming weapons before.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Yeah, you're fine.
You're 4 and you're complaining? What do you mean?
So you basically make, in combination with Real's creation of extra items as well here, you create a number of javelins that you lash a torch to the back of. So their effective range is reduced by half, but you can throw a torch and have it stick somewhere. Okay. Or I suppose you could throw it backwards and light things on fire.
Yo, can you put some fire on? No, hang on. Can I make fire crossbow bolts? Or
what sort of tinkering check do I need to get the bomb lance from Hunt Showdown?
First, you need gunpowder firearms.
Then you need a pure hatred for the other guy.
And some extra scrap metal, like a lot of extra scrap metal.
Good. So we're halfway there.
Then take down a Model T for the scrap metal.
Yeah. So Real, you spend most of your time creating torches and the harness. Despero, is there anything else you want to prepare?
I'm gonna say no. I mean, he's got his 2 fucking weapons, and I need to keep reading the shit.
Okay.
Are the javelins completely made of wood?
They're stone tipped, or maybe metal tipped. Yeah.
Okay. Is there any spare time for me to make additional crossbow bolts?
You don't have the metal to make crossbow bolts,
Mm.
unless you have metal ingots for some reason.
I mean, I have.
Well, more
money,
importantly, you
per
lack
se.
forging capacity for crossbow bolts.
Yeah. I have smith's tools, but I lack the forge element.
Yeah. Those are die cast. So you may have the tools, but you don't have the heat right now. Nor would I imagine the Feywild would particularly appreciate you lighting their shit on fire.
That's
What is fire
none of my
except for
concern.
really fast decay?
We'll
Let's
let
not
this
get
man in here.
Yeah.
We'll let this guy in here.
Yeah. What's heat? But
He cries out from Nyx's prison.
what's heat? But a vibration of sorts. An intense vibration.
So I'm going to add... Do I want to do the Elite Warriors as a swarm? No, I want them individual, which I hate, but I'll do it.
So the plan is mark her because she's going to disappear almost immediately. But we first have to push there, so that's the downside. If we can get there stealthy,
Take fairy fire.
well, fairy fire she has to pass the check, and I'm pretty sure they're really good at passing.
Verifier, she also needs to stay in the AoE, right?
No, once she fails, she's marked.
Oh, okay.
She doesn't need to stay within it.
Okay. So after about an hour of prep, you guys are ready to be on your way.
Sorry.
So you no problem. So you head to Melfia's Grove. On the Feywild side at least. And do you transport?
Yep. Time to open that gate and start ushering people
Wait,
in that
let
shit.
people in the hole first.
Yeah.
Troopers, how we going to hell?
All right. I'll do a countdown. Like, are we ready? And 3, 2, 1, go! Open. And then I just expect people to fucking hoof it in.
Okay.
Kitchlor starts patting his pockets. God, I know I left something.
Okay. Let me just touch this up real fast, and we'll be ready to rock.
Real fast?
Me fast?
I have completely
Being
forgotten how
fast?
to add spells to my ship.
Christina is scared.
So you're teleporting
Nikki is
into
also
the
scared.
center of the garden, into
Yes.
that giant tree that's there, that
Yes.
is covered in black cancerous mold. You guys tumble out of the... You guys feel that for the first time, most of you, the creaking of this wood as it surrounds you and the kind of vertigo that upsets your stomach and turns your view topsy-turvy. And you step out of the tree after racing through it. Let me make sure I got all the people down. I don't, because there's a fucking lot of you. Despero. Tyre barely squeezes through, and you hear the creaking of the bark coming to a close behind the damn it, get away from here. Behind you guys as the portal begins to close, and Tyre kind of yips, kind of chitters as his tail, he curls up his tail to get through before the tree closes behind you. And you guys find yourselves in an otherwise pitch dark forest pagoda surrounding this tree. These tall stone pillars rise up around you on either side, kind of stone plinths like Stonehenge style, around you on all sides of this tree. As you come forward, I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, jeez.
Gosh, god darn. Hold on. Can I put
Oh,
this as
it
a
doesn't matter.
back-
They're in the bag.
Yeah, I just need to be okay enough to open the bag.
Okay.
All right. Real, you fail. Despero and Melifia and one Shadowblade all fail, and you guys begin just retching violently. As you step out into the space and immediately inhale these toxic fumes, just choking you and filling your lungs, and you immediately just begin coughing and choking. The rest of you step out, and these guys are making not a small amount of noise. Real, you are for the time being, you guys are all basically stunned.
Well, off to a good start.
It's actually, you have to spend your action coughing and gasping for air. The rest of you kind of come out of it and manage to have the presence of mind to either hold your breath or avoid it, or just be hardy enough to tank it, like Joe. And you step out, and any cover you had is immediately blown with the noise of everybody just coughing their lungs out. Do you guys wait?
I'm going to administer some basic help by stripping up pieces of cloth, dunking them in water, and handing them out as face wraps for people.
Okay.
Joe's gonna
make a medicine check, Kitchener. Go ahead, Joe.
I think Joe's just gonna get people up on their feet. If they're bending over and retching, just picking them up and putting them on their feet, and like, we gotta go.
You're near this shadow blade, and you just literally just pick him up by the shoulder and set him on his feet, and he's still trying to like cough, but he's starting to come out of it. Okay, Kitchener, you can only fix one person in the time with the supplies you have on hand. You just kind of spill a little bit too much water and like, oh shit, and kind of wring it out. So pick one person.
Does Melifia still have Pass Without a Trace?
Yes. She has the spell.
I do have the spell. I can't cast it right now because I'm retching, but
she's not. So she's not so much like coughing and retching. She's just like a plant gets poison. I don't fucking know. She has an immune reaction to it similarly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it around her face and say, "You need to hide us now."
So Melifia, you have make your Constitution check with advantage.
Okay. Constitution saving throw, right?
That's the one. That's the one. Not that it should matter for you.
I mean,
Real didn't pass it either. Fuck.
7.
Yeah, Melifia. Her biology is just too unfamiliar to you, and the cloth you help kind of wipe away some of the spores, but she continues retching. So you guys are. Let's see who else saved.
I just realized I did a con check, not a con save. So that's
whatever, you passed by a lot.
Yeah, that's a 18 actually.
Yeah, you're completely fine. And these warriors are not here.
And the other one here is fucked as well.
So you guys begin. It's even easy enough for your passive perception. Joe, you hear the rustling of leaves around you and the rustling of the forest around you coming to life.
We have to move now.
It's time for us to. You got to pick me up and go because I don't think I can do this.
Well, I don't know where the chamber is. Joe's gonna run over to Mel.
Wait, you've been here before. You've been here before.
Feywild?
Oh, that's right.
Nikki,
can I even though I'm retching, can I? Yeah, I understand. Even if I'm vomiting, can I point a direction?
You can. I'll say you're coherent enough to point.
Can I vomit in a direction? Can I projectile vomit the direction we need to go?
Joe's just gonna pick her up, like up over the shoulder, so Mel's head is like, her torso and head is like next to Joe's head, and so she can move an arm up to point wherever to go.
Okay. All right.
Can I be leaking sap out of my mouth?
Yeah. It's like viscous, like kind of sweet-smelling fluid. It definitely comes up.
Decaying flesh
leaks out of Melifia's mouth as she kind of coughs. Yeah, you guys, Melifia can vaguely guide you guys. Real, Despero, and one of the Shadow Blades are still down.
I am going to fucking put their elbows into Tyre's saddle and start fucking dragging their asses.
Okay, Tyre comes up and comes up to you. You motion to him, and he kind of steps over and he's looking around curiously as you jam Real's elbow into the saddle.
I grab both of them, and as I put them in there, I say twice, once in common and once in undercommon, "Do not hurt my wyvern with your filth."
Okay. The other Shadow Blade, is going to go over to Despero and try and lift him.
Oh, is he fine? Did he make it?
One of the Shadow Blades made it.
Oh, hell yeah.
That is terrible. Yeah, he lifts Despero, and you hear him kind of curse in undercommon, and then
I'll just go over and fucking help him. I'll get the other arm.
All right, so he'll roll with advantage.
What the fuck happened to our rolls? Did you load the computer's rolls when we fucking went in here?
God damn.
Like, look.
He still fails. He says to you, "This guy's heavier than he fucking looks. Jesus Christ."
All muscle base is still different. Also, I don't see the map.
Oh,
can I throw him, Despero, also over the back or into the harness of fucking Tyre?
You guys with that you guys can drag him to the wyvern and manage to kind of strap him in. And Tyre begins just dragging them, just happily kind of walking.
I'm literally saying just an arm in so that the elbow's there, and then tying their hand to their shoulders so it's a closed loop.
Yeah.
So you can sort yourselves out on the go.
It's indignant, but it is
You gotta go. You gotta go.
Yeah. You guys begin moving as you hear the forest start to come to life. You can hear the chittering and kind of croaking, groaning cries of something, greatly numerous in nature, beginning to come to life.
Time for us to go. Go, 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 go.
Okay, so Melifia, I need you to make a survival check with disadvantage, and Joe, you make a perception check straight.
Okay.
Joe, do you have dark vision?
I do not.
This is dark. This area is dark.
11.
So disadvantage?
So who does not? So the disadvantage. Who does not have dark vision?
I don't.
Despero does not.
I do, I think.
Real does via
Real.
20.
Oh, via gadget. Got it.
By gadget, yes.
I think I actually have. Do I have tremor sense? I think I do.
No,
actually.
I don't think you have tremor sense. I think you just have dark vision.
Dark vision, yeah.
Okay, so it's just Melifia and Real and the Drow can see the three Drow that are out with you. Okay, so you begin. Wow, dropped at 19. Damn.
Yeah, I rolled really good. I'm happy about that for once.
Yeah, Joe, you detect that there are. You hear those kind of usual footfalls of creatures that you're used to now fighting, and you hear the raptors beginning to swarm through this forest, through this garden, and you hear a group of them pass you, go back the other way towards where you guys came from the tree.
Go, 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 go. Keep going.
Wait, they pass us and go towards the tree.
Mm-hmm.
They don't pass you, but they're not beelining to your current location. They're beelining to where you were.
Can Joe's gonna mumble, can you cast that sneak spell yet?
Yeah, over about a minute, the sickness fades and all the people
Okay.
regain their senses.
I'm casting Pass Without a Trace.
Okay, the whole group becomes shrouded in shadow, and if it weren't hard to see before, it sure as shit is now. The Drow are all the Shadow Blades, especially. You can see them just teleporting from place to place in the darkness.
You cast Pass Without a Trace. The Shadow Blades out there like, oh, real shit.
Real?
they become a fucking electron.
Yeah, they are orbiting you. Real, you come to your senses and you finally regain your composure. And Despero, you are both one hand strapped to a wyvern.
Okay. I armor up.
Okay.
I armor up, loosen myself, float alongside.
Do you want to deploy your bros? You guys could stop for a round to deploy the bros.
Is it safe to deploy them?
That's up to you.
We can prepare now and make the cloth wraps ahead of time in a satisfactory fashion before we do that.
Like my guys have about another like 7 minutes of oxygen in my bag. If you wanna,
If they're gonna cough, let's have them do it here rather than behind the druid.
Okay.
Oh, actually, you know what? Because there's 5 of them crammed in there, I'm going to say they have significantly less than 10 minutes of air.
They have like 4 minutes of air in there.
It should be divvied up. So it's two.
They're running out.
Yeah, 2 minutes of air split 5 ways. So.
Yeah, let him out.
We need to make the cloth thing. Please, for the love of God, don't just open it. Or at the very least, when we open it, we call in hold your breath so we have a few extra seconds.
While we're doing this, I need to request some assistance. I do not remember how to add spells in Fantasy Grounds. I need to
go to library at the very bottom right and find the spell list. What are you trying to add?
Investiture of Flame and Spirit Shroud.
Okay. Spirit Shroud, I don't know.
Because I tried going into library, selecting modules, a lot of the ones that seemed relevant, but oh, thank you. Investiture of Flame being the 6th level. We could also get rid of Wall of Sand, because that's what I got rid of for the Spirit Shroud.
Okay. I don't know where it put that. Okay, let me get rid of this.
Yeah. Sorry to put extra work on your table.
No problem. Can I just drop this on? It is a 6th level spell. Okay, there it goes.
Cool.
And so you can just right click on Wall of Sand and delete item.
That's how it goes, okay. Oh wait, how the fuck? Oh, there it is.
So on the right side of your screen in the big toolbar, do you not just have a big spells button?
Nope.
Oh.
You have to go to library.
That's weird that it's not. Spells. Can I not make it available? Maybe not. Shared. Oh. I'll figure it out some other time. Okay, so you guys push forward. Man, Melifia, your survival check is not fantastic.
Oh, it's not.
And you realize that you've been heading kind of the wrong way, so you guys readjust, and it helps. It basically takes you guys get on the right track, but it takes you more time.
That's
so what do you guys do while you guys are kind of planting for a second to let the boys out? What do you do? Do you do anything to help them?
Face straps, telling them to hold their breath. Just letting them know it's happening, honestly, does a lot.
Okay.
So working with the people that can actually fucking see, I'd love to make some face straps.
Okay, all but one of them pass. Given the face wraps. So given you warn them to hold their breath, and one of them comes up and begins choking back a cough. The nature.
John, what did I tell you?
The nature of the magic of Pass Without Trace does dampen the sound around you, but you guys can continually hear the kind of ramping of the forest around you. I think that was Austin that just left.
I just bark an undercommon, grab him. We need to move.
Two of the guys next to him just pick him up by the shoulders and kind of side by side carry him so that his feet are off the ground. And just begin carrying him, just kind of jogging forward with him.
Joe still has Melifia, by the way, over the shoulder.
Okay.
I just imagine the spores are like drifting into me and then sizzling when they touch my flesh.
Yes.
I have hard adapted to this area.
Yeah.
No, my sheen is no longer of a shine. If you look, there's actually very much a layer of something over me. And if you could see in the light, there are very thin sort of dark brown veins now in the blackness that's there. We have to really look to see them.
Cool.
So,
all right.
All the spores are having a real rough time on me.
So, you guys rush further now, deeper into the Garden Throne, and you reach basically the location, the space. It's not necessarily a location; it's more just of a place, if that makes sense. You don't get there by walking there; you get there by being there. Weird Feywild shit. Melifia eventually does guide you to the right place within the Garden Throne. And you see just this twisted mass of gnarled, twisted tree trunks and blackened, crawling mold. And the mold here appears to be forming like tumors, like lumps over the surfaces that it comes through. Luckily, the tree that you came through was only kind of lightly infected.
Real Nurgle hours, who up?
Yeah, we're in real Nurgle hours. This is some Boobos shit.
Okay.
Like there are pustulent tumors on the trees and on the ground, and the entire place occasionally like discharges this disgusting spore-filled gas. You guys are doing all you can to avoid these things, and it's still barely enough. The forest is still beginning to come to life around you, the garden, and you crash into. Well, crash. You guys are moving actually pretty steady. I need stealth checks from everybody. I never did the stealth checks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember, you have pass without a trace.
Yeah, plus 10.
Plus 10 to your
Throw that
stealth
10 in
check.
there. And we throw one of these in there.
Where's
Oh, your boy is outie. Your boy blends. Black on black ain't got shit on me.
Where's my stealth
Come on,
score?
Despero.
Well,
he's out here fighting for his
He's trying his best, man.
Yeah,
just
so's
walks
the counselor.
directly in front of her like, "Hey, yo, bitch!"
The counselor.
I'm fucking
The counselor's also
invisible,
kind of like
boys.
daintily running through the forest and not doing a very good job hiding herself visually.
It's okay. I rolled a 32. I rolled a nat 20, ladies and gentlemen. Nat
Yeah.
20 on that stealth check.
Yeah, you guys are just because of those would be some shit rolls if it weren't for the pass without trace, though. Especially from a lot of the drow. The drow are just too busy being strike force and not being stealthy. It's almost like you guys took the warriors with you and not the sneaky. The Shadow Blades are fucking gone.
What does the Shadow Blades roll? Just tell me what the Shadow Blades roll.
Well, one of them rolled a 34.
Yo!
The other one only rolled
Shadow
an
Blades
18, but they can literally turn invisible in dim light. So
Yeah, the Shadow Blades are really out here having to pass wisdom checks to ensure that they still exist. Like,
oh shit, can I find myself?
Oh shit, do I exist?
Yeah, man, turning invisible must be a fucking trip. Like psychological damage, psychic damage to everybody. So you guys rush forward into this increasingly corrupt and increasingly fungiform. Your feet are not crunching into loam; they're squishing into rotten, moldy, disgusting, putrid undergrowth that is just swarming up around you. It's like walking on a waterbed. It is disgusting.
Oh.
It is.
Chase has some feelings about waterbeds.
Do you not like waterbeds, Chase?
I really do not. I literally get seasick on a waterbed.
What the
fuck? I'm looking right now to see how much a waterbed costs.
Dropped it on my house. Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Chase.
They range from $50 up to $2,000.
Fuck off.
I'll
That's
buy you.
That's a hacky-sack
Not a waterbed for very long.
Yeah, that's a beanbag chair filled with water.
I'm gonna buy you a $50 water.
We are
Please don't.
absolutely
Please
buying
do
Chase a
not.
$50 waterbed.
I literally would void my renter's
100%.
agreement. I would literally void my renter's agreement. Please don't.
They put in the addendum for water.
It's Andrew's dad. Of course he fucking did. We can't have so much as a goldfish.
Yeah,
anyway,
he was traumatized by the 80s.
Yeah. Anyway, Your guys' stealth is significantly bolstered by Melifia's use of Nyx's night magic to pull you guys into the surrounding shadow, and you guys crash forward into this disgusting space, hearing the forest come alive around you. You guys are like borderline sprinting just to keep ahead of the noises that you're hearing. And I leave a very real question here. Do we want to do this tonight? I need to be in bed by midnight. I have to work tomorrow morning.
There's no universe where we do it in 2 hours.
And honestly, for entirely selfish reasons, I would appreciate doing it next time so I can actually study these changes enough to make effective decisions.
And it would let me actually add all the spells in.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll call it here for this week as you guys are preparing to enter the dome of twisted bullshit plants that are choking the life from one of the archfey of the region.
Hell yeah.
I'm just saying, okay? There is a very real possibility that none of us make it out of this shit alive.
Yeah, no, I got some backup characters in mind already.
Okay. There's a very real possibility that y'all don't survive. Me and Tay are about to be lost in the Feywild for real.
I can move 480 feet to who the fuck knows where.
To be fair, I could also probably dipping sauce out of there too. Like that is also something that I can do.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just like, hey, is there foliage nearby? Peace, bitches.
Goodbye.
Yeah, really about to be out here saying, everyone get in the goddamn hole. I'm gonna stuff the hole into the harness and just jet. And if you can't fit in the hole, that fucking sucks. But
that fucking sucks. Unfortunate, dude.
You know what the fucked up part is though? Like, what if everybody's in the hole? Like, whoo, just got out of there. High fives all around. Can't believe we made it out, right? And we look to our side and the fucking Dryad's right there in the hole. Like, y'all serious?
What's up? Like,
yo, if she really about to, fuck that. I wish she would. She's in an enclosed space with nowhere to stride to, and she's stationary. I will jump in the hole with y'all. I'll be on that shit.
Right, Devin, we are presumably at this point running from her. I feel like at that point you can't go in with that much verve on some "you're locked in here with me" shit. If you were like, "Oh fuck, we gotta go,"
no, I'm about to do some shit. I'm about to cast everything I've got. Fuck friendly fire. I'm about to roast him.
Yeah, I'll just keep the bag closed. I can make everything.
That is a good point, actually. That'd be such just an easy solution. Like, just put her and her alone in the hole, and then every now and then open the bitch up, like cast a fireball, and they're like, "Oh, she'll die one of these days," and then close it again.
No, wait, she can only breathe in there for like 10 minutes. Just leave her there.
The Dryads need to
death.
breathe. She's a tree. She generates oxygen.
I have to breathe. Like,
I don't think we should make any assumptions about this bitch.
That is true.
Okay.
That's the hardest thing you've said all fucking day, Jerry.
Like, no. Like, real shit. If we came into the situation where she's in a fucking enclosed space that she cannot leave from the inside with fucking 5 elite warriors armed with fire weapons and a fucking lizard with a battle axe, I wish.
I wish you would. Yes, I wish you would.
All right, here,
That's not
opening
what's gonna
gambit,
happen,
right? Opening gambit, slap the hole on her head.
No, opening gambit is one of two things based on if she sees me or not. One is I try desperately to hypnotic pattern. It's probably gonna fail, but maybe she nat one.
I'm gonna say don't, dog. She thought at Melifia so aggressively that it did 31 damage to her from like several miles away. I don't think.
I don't know that shit.
See, when I spread on her, I took 31 damage and got confused.
All right, then I'm gonna do the option 2, which is the the dunk tanks. I'm gonna dunk tank her with some spell.
I do enjoy that.
Chase knows exactly which spell I'm gonna use.
What he's gonna do. Yeah.
just damn, that's crazy. You connect through all the organic shit around you. Shit.
All right, I'm gonna end the stream here. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Whoever tuned in, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Let's go.